Gonna go live and
Hello.
yeah,
Hello.
I want to play a little bit of background music.
Okay. So good evening, Tim. Good evening to Andrew, who's in the chat. Hello, sir. How are you doing, man? Thank you for joining us. Well, that was quick. That's quite a good one. That's really chill.
And Andrew says in the chat, Miss Tim Hayes, hey, Mr. Tim, hope all is well up north. Down here it is raining, which is unusual for this time of year.
Uh-huh.
And then he says the rain plays havoc with the internet down here. Yeah, that's too bad.
Oh, that sucks.
It seems like in the past, in some parts of the U.S., whenever it would start raining really bad, and we'd get thunder and lightning. Sometimes the power would go out.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. It's quite cold down here at the moment, but I think it's fairly dry. It's a bit cold. I've got the glass of sherry on the go.
Okay.
Nice little bit of sherry. Seasonal sippings. How have you been, Tim?
Fine. And Andrew says, hopefully it stays an internet and not an internaut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I had my Tribal Fusion belly dance class yesterday, and that was a bit more of a challenge than usual. It was a move lab class, so we were doing some like isolation exercises with the shoulder blades, or we were
Oh.
using our shoulder blades to move our arms.
Oh.
And Thursday we have another class where we'll incorporate that shoulder blade exercise into a choreography. So that
Oh.
should be a lot of fun.
Oh. Okay. Does that mean you have to do everything facing backwards to the camera so we can see your shoulder blade?
No,
Ah.
but I think sometimes he would do that. He would he would show his shoulder blades backwards to the camera for us.
Uh-huh.
And we
Oh.
got some more people in the chat room. Andrew says, like the old song says, seems it never rains in Southern California. Seems I've often heard that kind of talk before. It never rains in California, but girl, don't they warn you? It pours, man. It pours.
Oh.
And we got Travels and More with Jason in the chat. And he says, hi, Tim and Monkey Boy. Trouble is here just to let you know.
Hello, Jason. Hello, dude.
And Andrew says, cheers, Monkey Boy. Drinking my zero sugar acai blueberry pomegranate vitamin water. That
Ooh.
sounds sadder than it is, or at least I
No.
hope.
That sounds really nice. That's really nice. I like
And
acai, I like blueberry, and I like pomegranate. I like all of those things. So
and
to have them all in one, that sounds very good.
yeah, and Travels North, Jason saying hello to Andrew, and then Andrew's just saying hey back to him, and then we've got Joe Dubecky saying
Joe.
hello in the chat,
Hey, Joe. Thanks for stopping by, man.
and then Andrew saying at Travels and More with Jason. I went to the Disney parks here in California and bought the the R the ROTJ box set maybe means Return of the Jedi box set, so hopefully the Florida parks also have it. I guess he
Okay,
means the
cool.
action figures. I was thinking, does he mean a Blu-ray? Or no, he must mean the action figures.
Don't
And
know.
Jason says, fingers crossed, Andrew, only about 45 days till I go.
Yeah, that'll be here soon. That'll be here before you know it, dude. And you'll be off to the other side of the pond for your lovely holiday. That'd be good. Look forward to seeing some videos from your adventures.
Yep, he always has his video adventures where he travels.
Yep.
And when he's not traveling, he always gets his new action figures. And
Have you ever been to any of the Disney parks, Tim?
yeah, I've been to Disneyland in the past. I went once when I was very little, and then a couple times during my senior year of high school.
Okay, which one did you go to? Orlando or?
Uh, Anaheim, California.
Okay. Which is the main one? Which is the original?
The one in Anaheim, I believe.
Okay. Cool.
And Andrew saying, yes, the action figure retro collection chatted with Jason in his video comments. And travels more with Jason. Tim, Return of the Jedi retro figure 6-pack. Okay.
Cool.
So, Jason, is that with the one with Mon Mothma in there? And Andrew saying that Joe Dubecky, my copy of America Man #1 is coming in my next comic shop order. It's shipped on Friday. That's cool.
Nice.
And Jason saying, correct, Tim. So yeah, it's the one with Mon Mothma.
So they did a 6-pack instead of a 4-pack. That's pretty cool.
They usually do them in 6-packs.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the others were 4.
No. I think they did some 2-packs with the bounty hunters for the Empire Strikes Back line.
Cool.
And Andrew saying, I can also report that the card backs are a little firmer in this wave. Still not perfect, but much better. And
Okay.
Andrew
Well,
also, huh?
That's good.
And Andrew says you can only buy them in the case. You have to get them all. Yeah, that's what they did with that second 6-pack of A New Hope Star Wars action figures.
Yeah.
And Joe saying that Andrew, that's sweet. Thanks for the support. And travels more with Jason. Yes, original Disneyland is there, but the best one is in Orlando, Florida, as 4-packs there. Yeah, I think that they sell like 4-packs of like
R2D
of R2D2s that are exclusive to the parks. And Joe saying Andrew, sweet as in cool, you get it. And Andrew says that travels more with Jason. Boo, California is the best. Don't be taken in. And travels more with Jason. 4 parks.
Yeah, he says there's 4 parks in the Orlando resort.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's Walt Disney World, which has Epcot Center.
Yeah, I've never been to any Disney parks.
And Andrew saying that Joe Dubecki, hope you make more issues. I guess means comic books.
Yeah, I think it was Joe's copy of American Man that he was
Okay.
talking about earlier, I think.
And Andrew saying California has 2 parks. Well, yeah, because the Anaheim Disneyland has the California Adventure.
Mm.
And I haven't heard back from anybody else. I don't think yet. But I'm getting more chatting in the YouTube chat.
Okay.
Travels more. Jason says Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animals Kingdom, Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3,
So
4.
there's 4.
Yeah. So it's
So what's the Epcot? What's that?
it's something that has this big old like sphere. This giant ball that looks like a giant shiny golf ball.
Okay.
And Joe saying, yeah, Andrew, I do have the cover for number 2 penciled and inked as well as written. And
Cool.
Travels and More with Jason. Tim, do you know a lot of Disney as don't want to say if you already know? I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, I don't understand what you mean by that, Jason.
It is a mystery to us.
And Andrew at Joe Do Becky, you can always Kickstarter it. And Joe says that Andrew, as soon as life can permit it, I intend to.
Cool.
And Andrew is saying Epcot Center stands for Experimental Prototypical well, maybe means prototypical City of Tomorrow or something close to that.
Oh.
Oh, and Jack Tarlad is in the chat. I had let him know about this on
Hello,
Twitter
dude.
earlier. He's saying, "Hey, chat," and then he's
Hey,
saying,
man.
"To smash the like."
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks, Jack.
thanks for stopping by, Jack Tarlad.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, he's one of your people, Monkey Boy. He's another British guy.
Oh, okay.
And Joe is saying, Epcot Center is a section of Disney World dedicated to the globe at large and future technologies. At least that was the intent.
Oh, thanks, Joe. Cool.
And Andrew is saying, Joe Dubecki, let us know in the chat, assuming Mr. Tim allows Kickstarter promotions. And Jason saying, in and out of Disney parks about what Disney wanted, or about what Disney wanted so on. Yeah, I've only been to Disneyland, Jason, but I haven't gone. I never went on too many of the rides there. I remember when I was in high school, I was close to finishing high school. I went there a couple times. Once with the high school choirs, and another time just as part of the senior trip that all the seniors go on. I almost went to see that Captain EO in 3D movie that George Lucas made for Disneyland, where it's Michael Jackson in this sci-fi movie.
Well, it's the first time hearing about that.
It was done a long time ago. It was the short sci-fi movie that I think was George Lucas made exclusively for Disneyland parks. They showed the making of it on like Disney Channel back in the 80s when it was made, but
Oh,
I don't think it ever aired. It was never shown in regular theaters, but the non 3D version did show up on I think YouTube
oh.
once. And Joe's talking about me. He says, I heard Tim Hayes is a nice guy. I try to be. I don't intentionally. I usually don't intentionally get mean. And Andrew saying, we go to the parks down here loads, even go to Knott's Berry theme park. We have been to all the Disney parks all over the globe. Japan has a very nice one, but I really like Tokyo in general.
Okay.
And Jason saying, there you go, UK, France, USA, Canada, China, Japan. I think 10 more countries. Disney wanted 26 countries there, and I remember that Michael Jackson film as it was there, if I remember right, in 1992. Yeah, well, I graduated from high school in 1996, so that's. I remember some people were going to see that, but I didn't see it because it always seemed like when I was about to go to it, there would be a bunch of people that from my school that were going to see it, and then it was almost over with. So we just waited for some people to get out from seeing it. I found out Angelica Houston was in that movie as well, playing the
Oh,
villain.
oh, cool.
She plays this like this ugly looking space witch
She likes to
that,
play witches, doesn't she, Angelica Houston? She's done that a few times.
yeah, and remember Michael Jackson in that movie, I think, uses his magic powers to turn her and her minions all into good people.
Squid people?
Good people.
Oh, good people. Oh. I was going to say squid people. What the?
No, he's like zaps them with magic powers, and they turn all beautiful from after looking
Ah,
all ugly and evil.
oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna check Facebook.
Andrew saying squid people would have been more fun. Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
squid. You can't really argue with squid people, can you? I mean,
Mm-hmm. And my sister-in-law is just reminding everybody that our local downtown A&W drive-in restaurant is closing after a number of years.
oh,
So Wednesday the 22nd, it's the last day. It's closing at 5 o'clock.
oh,
Yeah, it's sad that it's going out of business.
oh. you been there before?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And then you read this chat from Andrew. Andrew, Squid People would have been more fun. Jason, Andrew, so far only been to Orlando Disney, but next year when I go back to Bangkok, I off to Dream World, laughing out loud, knock off Disney parks.
Okay.
Yeah, and I remember the Disneyland in California had a couple of new attractions. They had this one Indiana Jones adventure, and then they had some sort of like Twilight Zone. Like Funhouse sort of ride.
I didn't. Jason mentioned earlier about there being one in the UK, but I didn't know that there was one in Britain. I thought the nearest one was France.
Yeah. And Andrew says we went and saw the Marvels at the drive-in on Saturday. It is a bit of drive, but a fun way to see movies.
Yeah, never been to a drive-in in my life.
And Andrew saying, Monkey Boy, do they have drive-in movie theaters in the UK?
Not really. No, no. We have a couple of outdoor theatres. I mean, I guess it must have happened in the UK at some point. But it's not generally a thing for us. It's not a particularly popular thing.
And
Um,
Andrew was saying, I would doubt it, as it seems very American, as probably not environmental with all the cars driving there. Yeah, but I think they have drive-in movie theaters in Australia.
so
And I
I'm
think,
guessing the screen must be really high in the air because otherwise you wouldn't be able to
yeah,
see it, would you? So it's and is it just really loud? They just play the volume really loud so everyone can
yeah,
hear it. Or-
yeah. They used to. I think what they used to do is they used to give you speakers to put on your car windows so you could hear, or then they would later did away with the drive-in speakers, and they had you just tune in with your car radio.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Okay.
And Travels More with Jason Lowe, laughing out loud, Monkey Boy, 26 counties in Epcot.
Oh, I think. Oh, okay. He's talking about the amount of countries represented at Epcot, I think.
And Andrew saying, I think at Travels More, Jason was mentioning that there is a UK themed section at the park in Florida.
Oh, so presumably that's just a section where you queue up all day for nothing.
And Travels More with Jason, correct, Andrew, and Andrew, you tune in on your radio.
Okay,
So he
that's
must mean
cool.
at the drive-in theater.
Yeah,
Tim Andrew Tim Hayes is correct about the old squawk boxes. They are gone now, but low quality from my memory.
okay.
Yeah, it was right after. It was right at the tail end of the COVID lockdowns. They they reopened a drive-in theater near me, but it didn't last because the new owner was getting really upset at people, because people would just complain and complain and complain, so the owner shut it down and then just
Oh,
started some sort of like motorhome business, motorhome RV business out there instead. Travels with Jason. What I seen in films is speakers and speakers that come from the ground.
Not very familiar with drive-ins at all.
And Andrew, we bring a portable radio so we don't run the car battery down.
Okay.
And then Andrew, at the old one, they would do triple features, and one time our car battery went dead. Our current one only shows single features. 3 movies is a long time. Yeah, I think back in the 50s and 60s, and maybe in the 70s and 80s as well, they would drive-in theaters sometimes would show quadruple features where they would show you 4 movies back to back to back.
Wow. So you just bring all your own snacks and drinks and stuff, and
I think you could probably sneak in like beers and stuff, but they recommend you just buy there, and sometimes people would sneak people in there in their car trunk and then just let them out as, as soon as they got got in and paid.
oh, so you pay You don't pay per car, you pay per person, do you?
I think you're supposed to pay per carload.
Okay. Okay.
And Delvian Seek, good evening, all.
Ah, Delvian, good evening. Thanks for joining us.
And Andrew saying a few years back they made all theaters go digital projection, which put a lot of the old drive-in and regular theaters out of business. The digital projectors are expensive.
Yeah.
And Jason saying, Monkey Boy, I've been told that we did have some here in the UK, but all dead, not very proper here in the UK.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And I guess they have toilets available so that you can go and take a leak if you need, I would assume.
And Andrew saying we bring in food and snacks. They have a concession stand if you like. Yeah, with the regular walk-in movie theaters here in the US, they charge you so much for popcorn and candy and stuff. You have to practically sneak in your own food. But I found
Right.
out they don't make that much from ticket sales on the movies because most of the money from the ticket sales goes towards the studios, so they have to really charge a lot for food
Yeah, yeah.
just to make any money.
Yeah, it's the same here. The ticket prices aren't very high, but the food and drink is very expensive.
And Andrew, many of them do swap meets during the day. At the one I went to in North Carolina, the concession stand sold ammunition. I think that was left over from the day. Yeah, we've had the flea market at the series drive-in in the past.
Wow.
And Andrew says they have toilets and hot food if you want to buy it.
Okay.
And Andrew saying if I had a big house, I would buy one of the old 35 millimeter projectors and just collect the old prints. Heck, even a 16 millimeter projector would be fun. Yeah, those 16 millimeters are just TV prints of movies usually. So with 16 millimeter, you're usually getting a widescreen movie cropped to fit the screen of an older
Oh,
TV.
like what? Like a 4:3 ratio?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
with 16 millimeter, it's usually 4:3 ratio. But I did buy a I did order a bootleg DVD copy of the 60s movie called The Sweet Ride, starring Jacqueline Bisset. and usually that movie has been, even though it was widescreen, it's been circulating in a 4:3 pan and scan. But now I found a bootleg that's of the actual scope widescreen, but it's a 16 millimeter copy.
Right. I'll keep him talking, Tim. I've just knocked my drink everywhere. I'm just going to go and grab a towel. Keep him entertained.
Okay, Andrew. The move to digital must have freed up lots of prints of old movies. At uni, as the Brits say, we showed films in 16 millimeter and 35 millimeter. Lots of prints out there. And Jason's saying, not been out since Sunday once I got back from the doctor's, as ended up having a mild chest infection on the mend now. That cold for you do my chest in. Yeah, we'll get better, Jason. And
sorry to hear that, man.
Andrew saying it travels more. Jason, hope you feel better. And Andrew saying, Tim Hayes, are you sure you don't mean the old TV show The Sweet Life with Zach and Cody from the Disney Channel? I don't know what you mean. I'm not familiar with that.
I don't recognize that name either, no.
I don't think that's something I've watched before, but we got a couple more people joining us. We have Lester San Jose joining us, and we've got Kim Jonick joining us now. So,
Kim Jonick. Hello, Lester. Yeah. Hello, Kim.
How's it going?
Work's been moving around. It's been moving. Work has been pretty steady, so it's been pretty busy, but it's manageable. I can't complain.
And how are you doing, Kim?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks.
Okay, and just reading some of the comments in the chat room, and Travels North, Jason says, on the mend, a lot better. He had a chest infection and a cold, and he says he's on the mend a lot better than he was on Saturday at the Comic-Con.
Oh, that couldn't have been very much fun if you were not well during the convention. It was a bit of a pain in the tits.
Yeah, and Andrew has a question for you, Kim. No potato?
I was literally going to say that. I was about to say.
Would you like to see what I've managed to find?
Go on.
Oh, snap!
Excellent.
Look, I've got cape and everything.
I know, good effort. That's brilliant. Maybe if I take my glasses off, I can see slightly better. Super potato. That's fantastic.
I know, I've even got a hair flick going.
Yeah, Superman hair. And Travels North, Jason says hello. Says hi, Kim Gonick and Les.
Yep.
And then he says, wow, Kim. I guess he's commenting on your Superman potato. And Andrew says, ha. And then Delvium Seek. I was at London Comic-Con on Saturday. Good day. I finally met Palpatine himself.
The actor who played Palpatine. Cool.
Yep.
If that was really the case. Cool.
And Andrew, Monkey Boy will need one of those mint on card.
Oh.
Yep. Do like my mint on card. Oh, that potato is brilliant.
I know. I've even found a Santa one for next month.
a Santa potato.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
There's even a Reverend potato.
Oh, all right.
A reverend potato?
Yeah,
work.
it's got a little white dog collar.
Okay. And Travels More Jason saying, how do you find it, Delvian, on Saturday? I thought it was a bit empty in places.
Oh, he's responding to
Oh,
the comment about him being at London
do-
Comic Con.
If I do this, it looks like I'm stroking Lester on the head. Look.
Oh goodness.
Well, Lester's head is a bit chopped off
Yeah.
from the way everything's set up right now with the comments. That squeezed all four of our squares.
It's all good. No, that's emptier than normal. Last one was, well, I'm not surprised. I don't know what the willingness level is of people in that neck of the woods to go out and hang out in person. I know there's still a bit of a stigma, even with everything that's kind of normalized of late. But I know there's still a percentage still hesitant. I get it. Don't blame them. But yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Delvian saying it was emptier than normal. The last one was much busier.
Mm.
And then
Completely
Andrew,
off topic, but why are my pecs so big?
That I wasn't sure what to
They are
say when I noticed that because it's like
They like merge into my mouth, and I don't understand.
I know.
it was almost like, how do I respond to this? Because it's like, yeah, I understand big pecs, but then it's almost in the territory of man boobs that are almost not quite man boobs. If
I
that
know, but
makes
I've also like I've got an 8-pack. Who has an 8-pack?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 8. Yeah. No,
I feel whoever created this potato filler has some issues.
yeah, and yeah, Andrew saying it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a potato.
I like the cape though. The
You know
cape's
what? Do you know what I want a potato of next? Popeye.
Oh,
Okay.
Popeye. Yeah.
I'd love a Popeye
Yeah,
potato.
that would be good. That would be good.
Yeah.
Andrew saying super spud, forget the kryptonite, keep the butter and salt away.
Oh.
A-
I like a well buttered potato
and
and
travel
well
more.
cheesed.
Well cheesed.
Let's see.
Yeah, well cheese. It's like just put a slab of cheese on it, and that's like
I
goodbye,
love
man.
me
gonna
coming
use
on
it
as the
the
potato
rest
now
of my
has
life.
people giving me like potato slogans and potato memes.
Yeah, and Jason saying, yes, I was at the summer one. I think once the building work is finished.
Oh, the construction going on in the interim, huh?
And Andrew saying it is Super Potato is drawn by Rob Liefeld.
Oh, the dude from this potato has abs. Yep, this 8-pack.
Yeah.
Dude from Image Comics. Image was hot was well known for like a hot minute in the 90s. Like nowadays, it's almost an afterthought. I remember when first Spawn started coming around, and there was that initial attraction, but then I don't know, maybe the movie did it. The Michael Jai White film did it, where it was kind of a buzzkill. I don't know, but let's see what Jason has to say. But could it be? All right, Jason, go ahead and finish that thought, or where's the punchline?
My extra spuds.
Oh.
And Andrew says you could shed cheese on those abs, and that would be you go great with the potato.
Exactly. See, Andrew's got the right idea.
Ah,
Especially
who
when the cheese is
knew?
Especially
Who
when the
knew
cheese
to
is
get so much joy out of a potato? It doesn't help that I had a baked potato for my dinner, does it?
Oh,
Yeah.
was it well cheesed?
Do you know what? I had lots on it, so it has loads of butter, salt and pepper, extra mature cheese, some
Yeah.
tuna, some olives, some sun-dried tomatoes, mayonnaise, salad cream,
Oh.
Ah.
and then
Why
mush it
did
into
you put
everything.
Why did you put olives on it though? Did you just want to throw it against the wall?
Oh.
No.
Oh.
It's just I have sophisticated taste.
Oh.
Black ones or green ones?
They were mixed, so I had green ones and Greek
Oh.
ones.
Oh, Greek style olives, Kalamata. Oh, it starts with a K. I don't want to.
Kalamata olives, yeah.
Yeah.
No thanks.
No.
Rest of it
Yeah.
sounded
Black
good, though.
olives. Black olives is like if you can hide it in something, then okay. If it's like buried underneath other ingredients, like okay.
Yeah,
Nah,
I
love
don't mind
olives.
olives on pizza when they're all chopped up and mixed in with everything else, but I can't eat them on their own. They're just,
Nah, I
Yeah.
love olives. We used to sit
Yeah.
and eat a whole jar.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
really?
But
Oh,
then I'm like that with pickles. I can sit and eat a whole jar of pickles.
oh yeah, I like
Wow.
pickles.
And Andrew is saying in the chat, image is still rolling. I was at the comic
Oh yeah,
shop
that's right.
today.
They have the rights to GI Joe. I forgot. I remember Midnight's Edge or some other place was
Yeah,
showing that. Yeah.
yeah. It says
Oh no, I think it
buying.
might have been. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was buying GI Joe number 301. Spawn is still going as well. Last year, Todd expanded the line to add more Spawn.
Yeah, he's sort of bringing Spawn back, isn't he? Because that's how it started, and now he's
Yeah.
going back to his roots, as it were.
Good on him, I guess.
And
But of course,
Andrew,
when the Spawn figures first came out, they weren't very articulated. You maybe got the odd point of articulation, but for the most part, they were just statues. So he's
Yeah,
come
well,
along.
that's the thing with the McFarlane stuff is that's the common thing I keep hearing is they're they're not exactly figures; they're just statues because there's little to no articulation, and they have a single pose. I could be wrong on the posing,
Well,
but
they're not like that now. I mean, the DC Multiverse figures that I collect, they most of them have 22 points of articulation, so they're fairly heavy on the posability.
okay,
Certainly come a long way since the start of the company.
right.
and Andrew saying, "Watch out, Monkey Boy! Super Spud has eyes everywhere."
Yeah.
And Jason saying that a no for me on pizza or baked potato or anything else.
I get it. I totally get it, Jason. Olives aren't for everybody.
Yeah.
And
Nah, you're all. Do you know what? Fine. You're all missing out. More olives for me.
and Andrew,
Yeah, you can have it, yeah.
Andrew's saying, we do appreciate you, Kim Gonick, but we also sort of need you to always be a potato.
That's fine. I'm quite happy to be a potato.
And that's kind of how she rolls.
And Action Pop Dad is in the chat now and says, "What the fuck are you, Kim?"
For potato, APD. What the fuck are you?
Oh, I know what I'm. I know what you are, but what am I?
And he says he'll be on in a bit.
Cool. I like how the potato's hair is moving as well.
Yeah.
You know what's really annoying though? If this was actually me, this would annoy the hell out of me.
I get you. I get you.
It's cool. I like that.
I just happen to come across it. Every so often, I'll go into my filters and just type in potato and see if they brought anything new.
Well, I'm curious if they would ever think about putting this. You know, sometimes if you let the potato sit and things start sprouting out from it, and I know that's not really a good thing,
what?
but
I want a zombie potato.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, a zombie potato would be cool.
I know. Why has nobody thought about a bloody zombie potato?
Oh, that would be good.
I mean, if they could do a Slimer, I can see a zombie potato.
Yeah, but considering zombies are still a massive thing, I'm surprised there's no zombie potato.
Yeah, exactly. That's almost a template right there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's got an awful big mouth.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of zombies, I was just talking with a YouTuber anime guy. I don't know if you guys go on his stuff, but he was showing like these redos of Resident Evil games. Like, I thought they were at part whatever, and I just find it hilarious that all these, even the video games dudes, are on the reboot wheel. Like, if you're a Makai. Oh, okay. The Super 7 Snake Eyes comic version is almost on sale.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll have to look into that one because I was advised to check out the retro Snake Eyes or 1982 or something close to it. The 1982 uh, Snake Eyes. Like, yeah, I
Right.
might do that because I didn't really have a dog in the fight in terms of 6 inch or 3 3/4, which is the. But then I'd see the strength of the 3 3/4 is that I can stand them up and they don't block my view on my monitor if I want to have some 3 3/4 figures around my workspace.
Oh,
Not that
cool.
not that I dink and dunk with them, but it's just, you know, I like having those things around. So I don't know if it gives me a sense of comfort. It's just, no, that's cool. Make my workspace a little bit lighten up the mood instead of being so businesslike.
Yeah.
Oh, Death Race
They-
2000.
Yeah. Jason says he saw Death Race 2000 last night. Was it shit, Jason?
Oh boy.
That's a fun one. It's Roger Corman cult classic from 1975. It's where the racer these car racers in the future they race around the world and they score points by running over pedestrians.
Oh, cool. I take it back. That sounds good. Well, as good as a Roger Corman movie can ever be.
Yeah, there's one bit in it where it's a race car driver named Nero the hero, and he has a lady named Cleopatra that's his navigator, and she's saying, "Go for the baby, go for the baby," and then he's saying, "Bye bye, baby."
Tim, you're an evil, evil man.
And Andrew saying, "I have loads of action figures on my desk. Sadly, they are mostly Hasbro, so they are on their sides because of
Hasbro. I get it.
Yeah.
And Travels and More with Jason. Yes, Tim, you are correct. It's funny. And I sure got got the
no,
idea from.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about GTA Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Andrew Sylvester Stallone's Machine Gun Joe. Yeah, that was probably Sylvester Stallone's first movie was in Death Race 2000. He did it.
Is he in that?
Yeah, he's in Death Race 2000.
Oh, I've definitely got to watch that now. I had no idea. Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a hard movie to come by unless you watch it streaming on like Amazon Prime because I think the Blu-ray is out of print and I think the DVDs might be out of print, but you might be able to track down a
Well,
DVD copy.
there are ways. I'm realizing there are ways I can work around stuff so that I can have a archived version of whatever I need to archive. Yeah.
And
There's a way.
Andrew saying Machine Gun Joe is a fun character.
All right.
Yeah, cool. So it's black and white, Tim, you say?
No, it's in color. It's from 1975.
Oh, for some reason I thought you said it was in black and white.
No. And Machine Gun... Yeah, Andrew said Machine Gun Joe is a fun character. Now travels more with Jason saying, it is YouTube from a... Or Monkey Boy, it is YouTube from a cert horror. Or maybe he means you're a certified horror fan or something.
Oh, mate, yeah, I'll have to look on YouTube, see if it's on there then.
Or he says it is on YouTube from a cert horror. I don't know if it means the channel. But I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get something else to drink.
So, Jason, are you saying that Death Race is on YouTube, or am I just misunderstanding what you've written there?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember Stallone's first film was Santara brings up
Hey,
first film. Yes, I remember that being talked about at one of the Dreamland podcasts because they were doing a deep dive on Stallone and particularly I think the Rambo. So yeah, first film is Italian Stallion. That was his first film.
That was a porn film.
Yeah, but I was told that it was like somewhat soft.
Good evening, Zantara. Thank you for joining us, milady.
Yeah,
she's saying that your favourite film, Tim, is Caligula. We all know that. We know.
Yeah, but Andrew's saying I always wished Roger Corman did toy licensing. He had so many fun films, but I don't remember toys from any of his crazy movies. No, there weren't any, but it would have been nice if he did like action figures from Star Crash, Battle Beyond the Stars, and Space Raiders. Those would make for cool action figures. And Jason saying, Monkey Boy, I will send you a link.
Oh, yeah, just got that. Cheers. Thanks, Jason. I saw that just pop up just now.
Yeah, Xantar says Stallone's first film is called Italian Stallion. Probably it would make a good double bill with Tim's favorite film, Caligula. And Travels and More with Jason. Yes, Monkey Boy, it is on YouTube. I guess he's talking about Death Race 2000.
Cool. I'll check that out.
Andrew saying, so is Super Sped's nemesis Lex Tuber?
Tee boom test.
Oh, well done.
And Joe Dubecki says, I saw Star Crash in theaters.
All right.
I'm going to take out my headphones for a bit. And now, Jack Tarlad in the chat saying olives are just fine.
Told you so.
Well, somebody must like them because they make enough of them, don't they? You know.
Would you guys like to know the word of the day?
What is the word of the day?
Yep.
The word of the day is Herkle-Durkle.
Herkle-Durkle.
Herkle-Durkle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna dig that up. Oh, go ahead.
It's a 200-year-old Scottish term meaning to lounge in bed long after it's time to get up. Happiness is Herkle-Durkling.
Excellent.
Yeah. Very cool. I might use that. In tomorrow's work meeting, depending on how I feel when I wake up, because there are those days I do get that. It's like
my new favorite thing when people ask me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm Herkle-Durkling."
Hang on, you've got two versions, Tim.
Yeah, this was an old DVD, just called Roger Corman's Classics, where it has the tagline, "In the year 2000, hit and run isn't a felony, it's the national sport." And then I've got the out-of-print Shout Factory Roger Corman's Cult Classics that had the reversible artwork.
Oh, cool.
So this was an artwork on some, I think, a Japanese release originally.
Right. Cool.
And I do have a Blu-ray of it somewhere.
Are you going to do some unboxings, Tim?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
What's in the box?
Potato!
Well, I've got these two guys. Let me change the screen. Yeah, I've got these two Rebel Troopers I bought off the eBay a few weeks back. I want to open.
Okay. Are you going to open both of them?
Yeah.
Well, you absolute monster.
Yeah, and half of them were Jason saying, "Now, Tim, did they do a follow-up with Death Race 2000? Yeah, they did Death Sport.
When you said you were going to do unboxings, Tim, I thought you meant you were going to take something out of a shipper box. I didn't realize you meant you were going to you were going to open actual packaging.
I've
not
got
sure I'm
these
prepared
other
for that.
action figures I never opened up.
Is there something you need to ingest, Monkey Boy?
That's the ones that Stan Solo made.
Oh. If I'd have known, Tim, I'd have got some Valium ready.
I want to get something to drink.
Oh, me.
I ordered a Supergirl figure last week and it arrived this week and it was all smashed up because they put it in too big a box and the box got crushed by the by Royal Mail. So the packaging inside was all smashed up. I was
is the figure messed up along with that?
No, the figure's fine, but the bubble is all dented and crushed and absolutely buggered. So I wasn't very happy with that.
No, yeah. I would imagine knowing your sentiments about your collecting motives. Yeah, that's I feel for you, man. But it's
I was absolutely mortified when I opened it. I couldn't believe it.
And of course, a lot of the stores will not give you another figure just because.
Well, this was an eBay purchase, and and I looked about 2 weeks ago, and they had two of these figures.
Okay.
So I bought one of them, but they sold the other one as well, so I can't even get a replacement for it.
Right.
And it was a really good price. The next available one is very much more expensive. So I've just got one with a crushed bubble now, which is a shame.
That's too bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Not about the Supergirl figure.
Oh, I think he was responding to your Valium comment.
Oh. Yeah. But did I show the Supergirl figure last week that I bought? I think I did, didn't I, Tim? Did I show the Supergirl figure last week?
I don't remember.
I don't remember myself either. I don't remember.
Yeah, I've got it here.
Made a lasting impression.
Yeah, I've got it here. This is not the one that was crushed. This is a different one. I got this one because it has it has her two pets. It's got Crypto, the super dog, and Streaky, the super cat.
Why is
Well,
the cat got
Crypto's-
such a naff name?
Don't know.
Crypto is supposed to be Superboy's pet dog.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I don't quite
Yeah,
know
but
why.
it's like the dog gets Crypto, which sounds quite cool, and then the cat just gets Streaky. What the hell is just
Yeah.
Streaky?
Well, I think streaky because it's got a lightning strike down its side.
Okay.
You can't see it in the packaging. I don't
Is
know.
that? And I'm just thinking about the iterations of Supergirl. Is that based off the cartoon?
No, this is by the designer Darwin Cook. It's part of
Okay.
their designer series. So they had different people in different people's interpretations of the character. So it's not actually that very good a Supergirl figure, to be honest. It's okay, but I just got it for the sake of it. Well, and because it had the animals in it, I thought the animals were pretty cool.
And we've got Nick,
APD,
Action Pop Dad, joining us now.
APD in his house. What's up?
Oh, it's
Would
all
it
over
would
here.
it play?
Hello, everyone. You all right?
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Yeah,
But we peaked early. We peaked with Lester's utterance of the phrase "well cheesed."
Oh, I didn't know that was something worth gloating over, or something worth.
That's a highlight, man. Well cheesed. I'm going to say that for the rest of my life.
Definitely up there with internet dialogue. You know, I didn't say dial-up, I said dialogue. Oh, sorry if I sound miserable. I'm ill as shit at the moment, so just yeah.
Oh,
Stuff is going around, like, just hearing about Jason not feeling well during that time at the Comic-Con, and then you kind of being under the weather, but it didn't seem to matter where. And yeah, there are some strains of COVID. I ain't afraid of no COVID.
I haven't been ill for years. The only time I've been ill in the last, I don't know, 7 years or something. The only time I was not well was after I had my first COVID vaccination, and I was ill for a day after that, and then I was fine again. But other than that, I haven't been ill for a long time.
I am.
Which booster did you have to get, or which vaccine did you have to get?
I don't know. I've had all of them so far.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was the Moderna one I had first.
Okay.
I think, but I could be wrong. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I've had all of them now. I've had the Moderna one, I've had the Pfizer one, and I've had the AstraZeneca as well.
I don't know. I can't remember what one I had. I remember everyone going, "Don't take it." I was like, "If you know how much speed and cocaine I used to do when I was younger, I'm really not worried about taking a bloody vaccination. I'll be fine." That was all misspent youth.
Well, it was easy. It was easy. It was like, I got the Pfizer main vax, and then I got the Johnson & Johnson booster. And it was just, and that was because I was told the Johnson & Johnson is something that was closer to an actual vaccine than the others. So I said, okay, I'll just roll the dice on that one.
Not happy. I did one of the old nostril swabs earlier, and I haven't got the old beer virus, so it's obviously just a shitty cold. So hopefully it passes in a couple of days.
I'm gonna use that as well. Thank you again, Kim, for Herkle Durkle. So did I say that right? I want to make sure I got it right. So
Herkle
Durkle, yeah.
Durkle.
Herkle Durkle.
Herkle Durkle.
Herkle Durkle.
LBC. Sounds like a well-spent youth. That's the thing, man. When I was younger, I was a lunatic, and I used to go out and have fun. But then this thing happened called marriage and kids, and then you settle down, don't you? And you become a semi-balanced human being. I say semi-balanced because I ain't never going to be fully balanced. But it is what it is. I don't know why I bothered. I come in for a different webcam tonight, and I shouldn't have done because it's like quite high definition, and it shows how old I am. That's great.
So I think you're still younger. You're younger than Tim and I. I'm not sure about Lester. Are you a young man, Lester? He's gone.
He's choosing not to answer that question.
No. I don't know exactly how old Tim really is, but I'm getting a sense that he is probably older than me. but I know for sure I'm older than Nick. I don't know about Kim, but I'm 42. So
Okay.
That-
Yeah,
that's-
I'm older. I was born in 77.
I'm the baby.
Yeah. In fact,
Oh.
our ages go left to right, top to bottom. Tim's the oldest, then it's me, then it's Lester, then Nick,
Huh?
and then Kim.
I'm the baby.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, well, she's probably the most mature out of all of us. So what's that for you?
Well, I mean, she does have children, right? Right, Kim? I'm getting that right. You have a family.
No.
Oh wait, well, sorry. No, I'm sorry.
She raises guinea pigs.
Ah,
No,
Yeah, she's got fur
had
babies.
Kim had a
Quite a lot of
family,
fur
and
babies.
she sold them on eBay. She
I
didn't.
have no soul. What can you do?
Yeah,
Humans,
but like,
not worth it.
so am I the only one on here that's got a kid then that's managed to reproduce?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
And
wouldn't
I'm the one who
necessarily look at that as a badge
all
of
of
honor.
us
No.
should not have reproduced.
well, it's
Sorry for the disgusting nose blowing.
no.
Yes.
It's just for me. I'm open, but I'm not desperate. It's not like I gotta have children. My life is over, or
Yeah,
I
but
gotta be
to
big.
fair,
The first
out of all
important thing is,
of
have you got
you-
someone to have a child with? Because they don't get delivered by the stork. I found that out the hard way.
But I
Yeah,
find,
but-
to be
yeah, that's-
fair, to all of you here, you're unlikely to get weird ass looks for not having children. I am more likely to get weird ass looks and judged for not having children.
Well, in my familial culture, it's almost because I'm the oldest son. They're like, "When are you going to get married?" I go, "Well, wait a minute. My three siblings already got married, so why are you waiting on me?" It's not,
Yeah.
it's like the children thing. I'm open, but I'm not desperate. I've had 3 cracks at a relationship. I almost married my first one, and it's like, you know, because I see it every day when I visit my folks, and I go, I mean, I like the companionship, but it's almost like every day my parents at each other's throats. Don't know how I can handle that for 30 years of my life. That was my thinking. Probably still is. I don't know.
I don't know. I've been with my
I've
missus
missed the
nearly
boat.
20 years. She's all right.
That's cool.
20 years.
Just lucky though.
And she likes to dress up as a French maid. So it's terrible, as we discussed on another stream, it's a terrible affliction, isn't it? Monkey. Do you know what I mean?
That must be awful.
Awful.
Oh,
Terrible.
oh, is that
Saying that, though.
is that the 4-disc one, Tim?
No, this is just the standard DVD, the R-rated cut of Caligula.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I got the 4-disc one. It's shocking.
Yeah, Andrew, Jack Tarlad mentioned it in the chat. He was talking about Malcolm McDowell as one of his favorite actors. He was saying how this Caligula movie is nuts.
I found it very difficult to watch, I must admit.
Well, this is just the R-rated cut. This doesn't have any of the added porno bits.
I didn't mind the porno bits because at least something was happening.
Didn't mind
Yeah,
the porno
it's got hardcore porn in it.
Well, this one doesn't, though.
No, not that one. No,
this one's the sanitized one, but it's not that sanitized. This still has all the violence in it.
Yeah.
When you say hardcore, do you mean like what you'd see on a dubious website, or is it just that softcore stuff where you go?
No, it's proper.
No,
it's proper porn.
Yeah, Penthouse.
No, Hustler.
It was Penthouse that did the porn. Were the people that shot the porno bits?
No, I think it was Hustler, Tim. It was the guy because it was the guy from Hustler that shot the scenes in secret, outside of the director, and didn't tell him. Yeah, No, I mean it's tame by today's standards, but it is still full porn. It's not softcore. There's some quite horrific things in it.
So I love coming on a chill stream. Within seconds of being on here, I discuss my misspent rebellious youth. Tim's got us on to discussing porn and movies. I love how wild these streams are. They could go anywhere. They could go anywhere. It's like Willy Wonka's magic glass lift, mate. You go anywhere, up, down, left, right, diagonal. Love it.
I'm not sure, Jack. No, I think it's above Channel 5 level if you get the uncut version. I mean, again, it's nothing like you would. I mean, it's not. Well, I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's certainly hardcore. But the best scene is where that there's that huge machine that's like a lawnmower with blades on it, and the guys are buried up to their necks in the ground, and then the lawnmower thing just comes along and just slices all their heads off. That's cool.
It's pretty rad.
Lovely. Just the image I needed before I go to bed. Thank you.
Oh, Kim doesn't do horror stuff at all.
Oh.
I don't mind gore. There's a difference between horror and gore.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
The only thing I've watched this week, which completely different thing, I've watched a couple of old films. I found out that Sue Universal Toy Collector's never seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, so I scolded him for that.
Oh.
I watched Little Shop of Horrors this week, which I love. And I watched South Park Into the Pandaverse and laughed a lot. It was well worth a watch.
Jack, I don't think you've seen the cut that I've seen. There are several cuts of it.
I'm sure if we wait long enough, there'll be a Kathleen Kennedy cut or something, which will just take all the soul out of it.
Well, the thing is Helen Mirren was in Caligula, and obviously she's a well-respected actress, and yet she was in that filth.
Yeah, but Monkey Boy, this was after all the principal photography had been done. They just after all the regular actors had shot all their stuff, they went back onto the set with just porno actors and just shot a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, Helen Mirren has been in theatre productions and older movies where her costumes are fairly see-through.
Yeah, but that's not the same
Helen Mirren's
thing.
never been. Helen Mirren's never been scared of stripping off.
That doesn't mean it's porn.
No, but we're just saying, like, even though it's like, yeah, but we're saying, like, even though that there's porn in a movie, just because people like Helen Mirren and stuff in it, like, a lot of those actors were around for a long time before you had all these, like, privacy socks and all this type of thing, and a lot of them wore very sort of risque costuming and stuff, especially in theatre productions and things like that. So I definitely think older actors, especially coming from the UK, who are very based off of theatre productions, they're not too scared of kind of stripping off and dealing with that side of it. I don't think.
Well, that's called artistic nudity. That's not really pornographic, I don't think. It's just done for art.
Why, Tim, you've been changing the blooming... Every time you change your image on our StreamYard, it changes mine. Look, I'm Kim as well.
Sorry, that's amusing.
Kim's taken over.
It's two Kims. Which one's talking?
Kim's taken over. One by one, he's going to get us all.
I was just killing the cam so I could really ugly blow my nose and cough a minute. So bear with I.
Yeah, but when you invite me into streams, I shouldn't be changing yours. I should only be changing mine. I don't know why it changes yours.
Sorry, I didn't unmute. No, you did it the other day. I went on to something and I popped up as you. I was like, Kim. People must think I took the Rocky Horror stream far too seriously.
Possibly. Although, it's not really a compliment.
It's the red lipstick, I guess.
They only trust potato. Well, you spelled my name wrong for a start.
Oh, I got a couple. When are you doing Are you doing pickups, or have I missed that?
No, we haven't done that.
Yeah, I don't really have anything new.
I've only got a few DVDs, so go ahead.
Want me to go now?
Yeah, go. Can you make Nick big?
Hang on a second.
Don't worry. You can't. All the biscuits and crisp I'm eating at the moment will definitely make me big. So right now I've never owned any Reaction or Super 7 stuff before. Ooh. But these were gifted to me this week and I bloody love them. Well, one of them I like. So this is the one I like. It's cool. I'm gonna have to kill my background because you won't be able to see it. Sorry, bear with I. You can see how untidy my house is. Bear with me. Right, so no background. There we go. We can do that. So
I can't see. Yeah, hold it up.
Nice.
That's better.
Which is cool. He is cool. Don't get me wrong. She's going to go on my display, and now it gets you down the wormhole of like, I kind of need to get the rest of the basic stuff.
That's such a good card back. Oh, wicked. Nice.
I love Mutagen Man. I've got the vintage Mutagen Man. I've got the reissue one, which is crap, and I've got this, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I was really, and then they've released even more. So it's like, this could get expensive and fast.
But they look great on the card backs, that Reaction line. I've got several of theirs. I've got the Teen Wolf ones, the Lost Boy ones, some various other ones, some Iron Maiden ones, and they all look fantastic. I won't ever open them. They look brilliant.
To be honest with you, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. They're not figures I'd ever take off the card. I think, If you took the Foot Soldier off the card, it's blurry because I put my virtual background on. If you took him off the card, I don't think that'd be a very impressive toy at all.
No,
but as you say, because of that card back, that's something nice to display. And so I was really chuffed with those. They were a bit of a late birthday present from a friend, so I was like, I'm really into that. But they're selling them for like if you get to B&M at the moment, some of them have got them in for like £7 a figure. So
are you joking?
No, I'm not joking. But
wow. Oh, that's cool.
I said to my friend, I said, look, if you go to your B, because I went to my B&M, I didn't have any. I said, if you go there and they've got any, could you pick them up for me and I'll sort you out? And then we met up on the weekend and he handed me a bag and said, happy birthday. I was like, amazing, thank you.
Oh,
I was
cool.
like, that's awesome.
That Mutagen Man is really, that's a nice mold. That looks good. That's a good sculpt.
It is cool, man. It's really cool in as much as like it will focus if I hold it there for long enough, I think. Oh, come on, focus.
Why are you blurring it out?
I'm not. It's because I've got a virtual background on Tim because I don't want people to see how messy my house is, but I'm just going to have to turn it off again for a second. Bear with me. So, yeah, you look at the plastic fantastic on that and how...
That's really good.
That is just... That's so cool.
That's bang for your buck there. That is very good.
Yeah, I'm all about that. I mean, the Turtles figures you'd probably see them clearer on this card back because they're smaller. The Turtles figures look a little bit underwhelming, if I'm honest.
Right, yeah.
But the Shredder and Bebop and Rocksteady look pretty cool.
Yeah, they look cool.
But then it's like, now do I have to? Because like, me and Tim, sorry, I always do this. Me and Dave were chatting the other day, and we said, like, if you're collecting the vintage Turtles line, you've almost got to go for the first 10 or so, haven't you? If you grew up in our era and you're a Turtles fan, but you can do that with these ones. But I don't know if you'll be able to see it on this because it's a bit smaller, but I think the Splinter looks quite cool.
Oh yeah, he looks pretty nifty. Yeah, I like him. Baxter looks good
you've
as
got
well.
Baxter looks sweet. So you've got, Slash is I think Slash is on there. Yeah, he is. Slash, Mondo Gecko, Ray Fillet. And they also do a battle damaged, a busted up foot soldier, wherever that is. Can't put my finger is on the card. There it is.
Oh, cool.
So if I get that in any closer. So that there's that. If I can pick them up for, to be honest with you, when someone's that good, I'm quite happy to pay anywhere between £7. I'm more than happy with.
Yeah.
But anything £7 to £10, I think I'm happy for that. I think I agree. That is a bit of bang for your buck, isn't it?
Yeah. They're good. They are. I really like the reaction line. I think everything they've done has been really good.
I mean, I've never felt a reaction figure off the card. What are they like feel-wise? Do they feel toyetic? Do they feel like toys?
Never opened one.
A bit.
Never opened one. All mine are still on the card.
Just they look very detailed in their paintwork, but the paintwork also looks like if you took them off the card, like it wouldn't be that hard to chip.
Maybe,
so I think that's another argument.
I don't know how they stand up loose. As in, I don't know how well they wear. I really don't know.
I mean, I looked at them, and my little lad was sort of, "Oh, if we see any, can we get any for me?" And I said to him, well, look, it says on the card, adult collectible, ages 14 plus. I don't think they'll withstand the rigors of like a 9-year-old smashing them into things. I just don't think they'll hold up. No, I don't know what sort of plastic they're made of.
Yeah, I don't know.
So if there's anyone in the chat who knows, who has any open ones, I would love to hear what you think of the Super 7 toys. The reaction ones.
Well, I
like the Lost Boys ones that I got.
I've gotten the reaction of the Universal Classic Monsters, and those seem decent, and the David Lynch Dune ones are decent.
Tim, can I come off big now, please? Because I'm sweating profusely from this cold. It's not attractive.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. No, it's fine. It's just, when you look at yourself, it's like, my eyes look like piss holes in the snow, as my granddad would say. And I just look like a hot, sweaty mess. So.
Oh, Zantara's saying a bunch of variation figures of the 4 turtles already. Playmates made that mistake. She would think that people would want different characters. Yeah, I mean, I would tend to agree with
the ones they have picked, I'm not defending them because I agree. I would rather they just had the 4 basic and do some more characters. But the ones that like Space Cadet Raph, I mean, in the vintage line, he's very sought after. So I can see why they would have I can sort of see the logic there. But well, not that I see the logic, but I get why they would have gone for that one. Like Undercover Don, they're very popular in the vintage line. Again, Sewer Surf Mike, Samurai Leo. So the 4 turtles variations they've picked are very much very, very popular ones. Ones that people sort of cover if they're really into their.
They're the crowd
pleasers, TNMT. Yeah, so if they were going to do it, at least they, as you say, they pick crowd pleasers as opposed to just like random ones. Mind you, as variations go, although I'm not into collecting the turtle variants, I mean, I've got the in the vintage Playmates line, I've got the 4 traditional brothers, and I've got the reissues of the Storage Shell turtles. But that's about where I stop. But then I don't know if you've ever seen the Universal Monsters Playmates turtles that they did. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think if you're into those films and you like that horror side of it, they're a sweet novelty. But I think the problem was with the vintage Turtles line was they just licensed everything. It was like, oh, right, we do Star Trek, we do just everything. There wasn't.
Yeah.
Because I think they just announced that they're doing a Turtles crossover with Motu.
Yeah.
That I see somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's coming out. I think that's a Mattel line. But that doesn't interest me. I've seen the figures. I mean, they look all right, but it's not something that appeals to me. I like each individual property, but the mashup is just, it doesn't appeal.
But I mean, all of us, I presume all of us bar Kim. I know Kim doesn't collect toys, but I think we should get Kim into collecting the Nightmare Before Christmas toys, because I've been looking at some of them and they're pretty sick, and I know she loves the Nightmare Before Christmas. I think we could get her on a slippery slope.
Yeah. Oh, no comment from Kim. She's not impressed, mate.
I think she's...
If you want to purchase them and send them to me as a gift so I don't have to waste my money, go for it.
Well, I've got you a birthday present this year. I don't know if I can stretch to a Christmas present.
To be fair, though, my birthday present benefited you also, not really me.
I mean, just to clarify what that birthday present was, I paid for Kim to go and see TNMT Mutant Mayhem because I thought that she'd love it, and it was nothing to do with wanting to do a stream about it and needing my co-host to be well versed in the subject.
Yeah, but to be fair, I did fall asleep during that movie.
Oh God! Now you admit it. Now you admit it.
Well, I did. But I think it was also for the fact that it was very warm and cozy in the cinema.
Yeah, can't blame you.
Right. I can tell you now, right? Going to the cinema, we went to see that haunted house film, me and Carla, probably 6-7 weeks ago now. And Carla's like, you fell asleep. When I go to the cinema, I mean, I didn't fall asleep through Turtles because Jack's there and I was very excited myself because it got good quick. But if you stick me in it, because cinema seats are now quite comfy, if you stick me in a comfy seat in a dark room that is warm, there's one inevitable outcome. I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, it's not like it used to be, is it, in the cinemas with those fold-down seats that were always really hard and uncomfortable, and no, they're quite.
Yeah, you walked out with like spinal
Why do you think
damage.
church pews are meant to be uncomfortable?
Pardon?
They're made to be uncomfortable, so you don't fall asleep in church.
Oh yeah.
I had to go to church on Sunday because my boy is in the Cubs or Scouts, or it's one of those things. I'm bad dad. I can never remember which one it is.
Scouts.
They did their Remembrance Day parade, and we went to the village cenotaph and did all that. And I was sat in there, and you're right, my ass was numb. I was in so much pain on that queue. It was ridiculous. So, oh my God. And I had, and it was, normally I'm all for a bit of a laugh and joke in church because I basically play up, but I wasn't going to play up at a bloody memorial like that. No, that's a deadly serious church service, you know. So I was sort of sat there on my best behaviour, but all I could think is my arse is numb. My arse is numb. And then every time I wanted to stand up, like mother-in-law would nudge me as if to say, stop fidgeting. So, but on a plus side, I went into a church and I didn't set on fire, so it's all good.
Excellent. Lester, you look like an air traffic controller.
It's the hat and the headphones, huh?
Yeah, man.
Yep.
So, Dave, to chuck a bit of conversation out there. Sorry, I wasn't on for the first hour. Have you told everyone about your one of your purchases this week, or is it top secret until it arrives?
No, it's going to be top secret. I think I might do a video when it arrives. I'll see.
Okay, I can appreciate that. But I feel as though I'm a bad influence, mate. That's
I'm very excited. I'm very excited about it. But it probably won't arrive for another 2 months.
No, they're pretty good. They're pretty good, mate. They're pretty good.
I gave them a tip.
Got it
You get an option when you buy stuff. You can leave them a tip. So I thought I'll leave them a tip, and maybe they'll send it out quickly.
Everything I've ordered from that part of the world has only ever taken 10 or so days to get here. So
Really,
they're pretty good. And the thing is, it's a reasonably high ticket item. So I think having had stuff from that company, they are good.
okay.
And their customer service is exceptional. So I don't think you have anything to worry about there.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited.
Monkey Boy, Andrew has a question for you. He's asking you, do you care about punched versus unpunched? Does it matter if the item was never a retail item?
Yes, I do. Yes, it does. Yes, I was quite distressed. In fact, it's happened a couple of times now where I've bought an item brand new. Oh, look at that lovely unpunched card. I do. Oh, look, yeah, lovely. Yeah. Now, when I bought, for example, my Reaction Iron Maiden figures. I bought 5 of them, and one of them came and the tab was missing. And I looked everywhere in the box and in the packaging, and it was nowhere to be found. And I actually sent a bit of a grumpy email to the seller saying, well, in the picture this was unpunched and it's arrived and it's punched, so I'm a bit annoyed about that. So yeah, I do think it makes a difference, and it does make a difference in terms of the value of the figure. You can get an unpunched card back, and for argument's sake, it's worth 40, 50 quid. As soon as you punch that little tab out, you're losing 10, 15 pound on the value, which is bonkers for a little tiny piece of cardboard. You wouldn't think it matters, but it does. And also, to me, it matters on the Masters of the Universe Origins figures, because the tab, when you turn the card round to look at the back, the tab is right in the middle of the artwork. So if that tab is missing, you're missing a little bit of the artwork. Now, most of the time, that's just a bit of background. It doesn't make any difference. But there are 1 or 2 of them where if that tab was missing, you would actually be missing a part of the character or an interesting part of the artwork. So yeah, I think it does matter. Yeah.
I mean, certainly, I think I agree. I think if you're buying something, and the ones who annoy me, Amazon are dicks for this. Sometimes Amazon will pack stuff really well. This really pissed me off. I ordered the storage shell turtles from, albeit they're reissues, I know, but they're generally released for the adult collector. Let's be fair. I ordered the reissue storage shell turtles from Smith's Toys, and I did an online purchase. And the guy in the shop seemed a bit peeved with me when I got there, because he handed them to me. I said, right, you need to change these for other ones. I said, because you stuck a massive sticker across the back with my name and details on, and I don't want that. Right. And he was miffed. I was like, no, go get ones without. Because I'd already paid online. I was like, seriously, I sort of refund me now and I'll walk over to the shop, because I reserved them, not knowing how many they'd have in stock. They had plenty in stock, but as you do sometimes, you're like, well, reserve them, pay for them. They're there. Pick them up from the store.
Yeah.
And no, I made him change them. I was like, no, man, I don't want to have to go home and put bloody lighter fluid on this and peel it away. You might not get it, but to a collector, you've ruined the pack. That's
Yeah.
You know, Amazon will do daft stuff. I've had stuff sent to me before where they bent the cards over.
Oh yeah. What, and that, so they can get it in a smaller box.
Yep. So I've made them change it or refund it, because I'm like, nah. If it's an item I intend on opening, I don't care. But generally, you shouldn't do it anyway. It's like I ordered Jackson. This is the thing I went nuts at Amazon for once, and everyone, please go careful here, because there's a lesson I learned this week. If you order from Amazon now, I don't know what it's like in the States, but if you're in the UK, some items they don't, unless you specifically select for them to put it in packaging. They don't put them in packaging. So I came home the other day to my new microphone I'd bought, just being left on my doorstep, just advertised across the front of it what it was, just left out there. And I phoned them up about that. And another one, this happened last year. We ordered one of Jackson's Christmas presents, which was a big Playmobil set. It was the pyramid set. Come home to find they'd left that on the doorstep as we were walking back from coming out from a day out. So Jack saw it.
Wow.
And I phoned up. I had a right old go at them, and they actually refunded me for that.
So like, what do they just put the address label directly onto the product packaging then?
Yep. Yeah, not all items, but they said to me, so like, "Oh, you need to check on the thing." So I had a write up. The one that happened about a year ago is before they did this, and they apologised and refunded and everything. Fine, but now, if you go into the app and you look at what you're going to buy, you have to check because it will say something like, "This item will not be sent out with additional packaging. Would you like to select additional packaging?" It's not the gift wrap option; it's another option. So if it's just be very aware of that, because when I got to them on the phone about it, they're like, "Oh, well, we're trying to watch our carbon footprint." I said, "What a load of rubbish!" I said, "Just trying to save money. You're Amazon. You don't care about the environment. Don't come out with me. You care about money."
Yeah.
So
are they charging extra if you select that option, or is it still free?
I believe it's still free, but not obviously. If you gift wrap, you have to pay. But just go careful. Just go careful with that, guys, because if you're ordering in Christmas presents this time of year, or you're ordering things where it might be, all right, someone might still steal an Amazon box if they see it sat on where I live, fortunately, is Sleepy Hollow and quiet. But it's even more appealing if you can see it's an expensive electrical item, isn't it, to a thief?
Yeah.
So just, as I said, I don't know how it's playing out in the States, but please do go careful of that because Amazon are being douchebags.
Yeah. I mean, if I have the option to do it, I usually let it deliver to a pickup locker. The Amazon has these pickup lockers you can go to. So I have a 7-Eleven right by me, and I can go. I have up to like 7 days or 5 days to pick up the locker delivery, and
that is absolutely fine. However, if you're ordering a collectible and it happens not to come with the packaging, great, your item's safe in that box.
Sure.
But they will slap the sticker straight across the packaging of your collectible item.
Yeah. See, that's another reason why I like. This is another reason why I like Valaverse, because they do that by default. They deliberately pack their figures in a discreet, like in what do you call it? Inconspicuous packaging, so no one identifies what it is. It's just, this is what it is, and
I mean, that's the nice thing though with Valaverse. I mean, Valaverse is obviously growing exponentially, and it's made a hell of an impact. But Bobby has still got the handle on that customer focus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the advantage, But some of these bigger companies,
they don't.
billion-dollar companies, they don't care.
Like, I would imagine, I don't know how many people are on his team, but I would like to think it's probably, if I were to say the over, I would take the over on the 10, but I can easily see the under being under 10. I don't know how many people are on his team, but he does have work because of the factory where they manufacture the figures, sure. But in terms of his office people, I'm pretty sure it's probably still a small company. And that's what happens when, go ahead.
That's the beautiful thing with Valaverse. I mean, they're big as in they're growing, and I believe Valaverse will get bigger and bigger. I do. I mean, it's they're doing great because they're doing everything right, and we're all lucky in this community because Bobby Valor is accessible to us, and he's a reasonable, fair guy, and he really cares about his product. And that's the thing, man. That's what you're paying for, Valaverse. So. But some of these bigger companies could learn lessons from Valaverse, though. They all could. Like, just go back to focusing on the customer a little bit more and what they want, rather than just corporate greed. But then, then people go, yeah, but companies are out there to make money. Yes, they are. But if you piss the customer base off, it has a knock-on effect. Your profits will suffer ultimately. So it's good to look after the customer.
That's the thing. Like, if you follow retroblasting, that's one of the biggest. And I think Analog Toys points it out too. But it's like, take Hasbro. They're a however many billion-dollar company, and they use crowdfunding. Why? You know what I mean?
Well,
It's like, hey,
there's
go
no
back this
need.
campaign, and they put them behind certain.
Well, did you watch Michael's stream the other night? The one about the Stevie Nicks doll?
I haven't, but I will. I got a word about it being released a couple of days ago, and I know I gotta watch it.
Like Michael made a really valid point on that.
Yeah.
There was no need for this fate, and it's not the stream. Yes, was about the subject of Stevie Nicks, but it was the principle of the subject, and the principle is these companies could do pre-orders, and then they could garner an idea. Then people won't be disappointed, and don't do stupid things like allowing people to purchase up to 30 items if you're only going to do a limited run. It's 2 per person. What are you doing with 30? Anyone buying 30 is clearly going to be a scalper.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Scalpers are scalpers. They are what they are. That's on the big companies if they allow that. That ain't on the people trying to make a buck or two. It's a hard world out there. People got to make their money. But these companies could manage it better. And that's what Michael was getting at in the stream. And there's no need for these crowdfundings, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking pre-orders, because if you take pre-orders, as I say, you can get a feel for what people want, and then you're not going to have disappointed customers. So I don't know how these companies don't see it. The logic behind I don't understand their logic. Well, that's basically what the stream was about, and we were all talking about it in the chat, and it's what it is. There's some really daft and dumb decisions made by these companies, and I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. It's like once they've hit it,
they've got so big.
Yeah, once they hit that degree of big, it's almost like everything they had used to build themselves that goes out the window. Because it's like it's almost anything in life where it's easy to get to your pinnacle or get to your mountaintop, but it's hard to stay there. But that's been time immemorial in terms of how long that's been a fact of life. And it's like people have not yet figured that out, what to do to stay there. It's like yeah, go ahead.
That's true. That stream, man, like, Michael's saying, I don't condone scalping. I don't think any of us do. But you can't be angry at the scalpers for doing what they're doing. You should be angry at the company for allowing people to order 30 or something if it's a limited run. It's entirely on the company.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you can order 30. If someone's ordering 30, out of all the people who've ordered 30, I'd be shocked if there's anyone in there who ordered that quantity who wasn't scalping them. You can understand some people will buy 2 or 3. The common would be 2, wouldn't it? Well, I'll have one in the box and one to open on display. I get that.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's not about it being a Stevie Nicks doll. It's just about them keep making the same mistakes.
Yep.
It just goes on and on and on. And
well, this is what happens when you've got shareholders, isn't it? And you become beholden to the profits that they want to see, that's often the case with these big companies, that everything's fine until they get the shareholders on board, and then suddenly it's it's a different story, isn't it?
Yep.
It's a tough ride out there, and so a lot of people are now left with the option that if they want, the Stevie Nicks doll, what's their option? Now they're going to have to, because there will be people out there who will want that item. They will want it regardless, and they now got an option. They either miss out on something they shouldn't have had to miss out on, or they pay. I think one person in the chat retro, I think they said they paid, was it $250 for it, or was it $100? It might have been $250.
That's bonkers, isn't it?
And if you're a super fan of that line, and I mean, it's a Barbie line, and there are. I mean, I collect Action Man, and I can tell you, Barbie. I've met plenty of Barbie collectors. They're nuts. They're more nuts than people who collect what I collect.
Mm.
You know,
Right.
But it's the crossover appeal as well, isn't it, of that item? Because obviously there's the fans of Barbie and there's the fans of Fleetwood Mac. So it was always going to pull in a wider interest than just your standard thing. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. I don't understand it. I think we should let Kim run toy companies because I think she'll rule it with an iron fist and sort it out. I think Kim's passed out. She's fallen asleep.
All this toy talk.
Yeah, she's fallen asleep, mate.
She's gone.
If we start to hear snoring, we know what's happened.
Kim, wake up.
Kim. Oh, mate. If she's ever fallen asleep, we've killed her.
She's perfectly within her rights to fall asleep. Tim has as well, look.
Yeah.
Tim's dropped off. Tim and Kim. Tim and Kim are should be like that.
Oh, well, we hear something.
There's life.
I'm listening. But you talk about toys and I have nothing to contribute, so
I'm listening. That's what everyone who is asleep says. I was listening, honestly.
Well, were you talking about toys and stuff, or were you not talking about toys and stuff?
Yeah, we were.
That's true. Okay,
well,
she's got us.
Yeah.
And you're talking about punched and unpunched holes and blah 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 blah.
Oh, no, that was about 20 minutes ago. You've definitely been asleep.
Well, to be fair, I've got guinea pigs. They're more appealing.
Okay.
What I actually said, Kim, was I appointed you to run Hasbro because I think you'd sort it out and rule it with an iron fist.
What is Hasbro?
Sorry?
What is Hasbro?
You just got to know it's a company that's really shady.
Yeah. I'm not in your little world. You have to explain things to me.
So you've never seen a Hasbro tag on any toy you had as a kid, or you'd never walked through a supermarket and seen the Hasbro games or anything, as you've just passed.
I honestly can't say that I pay enough attention.
Uh-huh.
I don't collect toys, so I don't look for stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, just understand Hasbro's a pretty shady company and fooling around with customers. I think Nick is just saying that
basically sounds like any corporate country in the world,
yeah.
like any corporate business in the world. Then basically,
yeah.
He's
just saying that you'd straighten them out.
No, I got told today I'm too pushy.
Yeah, see that's it's funny. Like I even heard a commentary at a panel last night, an in-person panel, like just calling out certain age groups not wanting to be pushed or not wanting to work hard. There's a degree to that, I'm sure, but I wouldn't want to.
What age group is that?
Oh, young ones. Young ones probably.
Yeah, but what age group is that? Because millennials get hit with that all the time, which is my generation.
Yeah. Well, depending on how that is defined, I'm kind of clumped into that too. I kind of shudder at that.
Yeah, but when they're saying, "Oh, they just don't want to work hard," and I'm like, "Yeah, but what's working hard? Is working hard like literally spending most of my life working in order to have 2 days where I'm possibly capable of doing something that I like with my teeny weeny amount of money that you give me for working hard?"
Mm-hmm.
It's not that they don't want to work hard. It's just they don't want to break their backs anymore doing stuff without actually having any type of life outside of it now. That's just the difference. They want a bit of balance. That's the only difference now.
Yeah.
I get it.
So, and to be quite honest,
there's always
gone are the days where you went into a job at the bottom and you spent 20, 30 years there and managed to get your way up to the top of the same company. That just doesn't happen now.
Well, a lot of companies talk growth, and it's like, depending on the person, and I look at it this way because I've seen it being in a small business. You know, you talk about wanting to grow people within, that's an expensive proposition you keep, because if anything, a lot of small businesses look at manpower being the most expensive potentially, and it's the easiest one to reduce because there are so many factors. Like, well, it's going to get more and more expensive. I need more people on the bottom rung in order for us to keep running.
Yeah, well, it's like, I speak to my dad about this all the time because it's just like, so my mum and dad's first flat was like a 1-bedroom flat in the city centre.
Okay.
£7,000 to buy it.
Wow.
And that was in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
The same flat was for sale last year for 140,000.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you know? So I'm kind of just like, I just sit there being like, yeah, okay.
Yep.
That's great. Fabulous. Love that.
Definitely.
But apparently the statistics out that a quarter of millennials now live at home with their parents still.
Yeah, well.
Although I don't understand why we find this weird, right? Why is it that we find kids staying at home with their parents till they're a bit older weird, considering the fact that used to be the case until you got married?
No, I don't know. I mean, depending on the, well, at least in the States, I don't know when it became a thing. When you hit 18, the joke is that you got kicked out of the house and you're expected to live on your own. Yeah,
I still think that's quite young.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
It depends what country you're living in. When I was living in Croatia, it was very common for 3 generations of the same family to be living in the same house. So you would have a couple, their kids would be living there, and also their mum and dad would be living there. And it's very common for 3 generations to live in the same house. And there is no stigma against 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds still living at home with their parents. It's just normal. There's no embarrassment there. There's no stigma against it. So it really depends on where you live as well. I think in the UK, possibly in America as well, there is this expectation that once you reach sort of 18, 20 years old, you should be self-sufficient and living on your own somewhere. But it's not the case in other areas of the world.
Right.
I don't even think it's the case in the United States anymore. I think it just depends on the person's preferences and tastes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I've lived by myself and I've lived with people and I've rented and all this type of stuff. And then I came back home and I rented, and then I just had a frank conversation with my dad and was like, I'm never going to be able to save up for a deposit on a house if I keep renting and paying my money on somebody else's mortgage.
Right.
Yeah.
So we made the decision that I would just move back in, and I would just make sure that I paid half of everything apart from the mortgage so that I could put money aside.
Yeah.
Because I don't want like a 5% mortgage. I want more close to a 20-25% mortgage so that I have the choice of either getting a good rate or shortening my term.
Yeah.
So I'm just very lucky my dad and I get on, so it's not really like it's a big deal. Like, my dad and I go to gigs together and stuff like that, so it's not really a big thing for me. Plus the fact I help him out with his tech stuff.
Well, yeah.
Like, Nick and I were like speaking the other day, and he came through and he was like, why have I got all these notifications on my phone off my YouTube? And I was like, because it's like notifying you about stuff that you like. He had like 247 notifications. So stuff is expensive.
I had to nip off and medicate. Like legal drugs, not illegal drugs. Oh dear.
How long have you been unwell for, Nick? Because you do
2
look
weeks.
you do look rather run down. I mean you look okay, but you just look congested.
I suffer with my sinuses anyway this time of year, and it started literally a couple of days before we did our last podcast, and I will suffer with my sinuses till probably about March, maybe April. So
Wow.
I spend all the time shoving Sudafed up my nose. I've been doctors for it. It's just I just suffer with it. I'm just one of those people, and I think, try as I like at work, I take all the precautions. I wear all the dust masks, the air hoods, and everything.
Right.
You're never going to avoid all the dust and stuff. I mean, we do well. I mean, I've had an air hood on for literally 8 hours today, but I still think you're always gonna encounter crap, aren't you? We try your best. I limit everything, but I do. I follow all the health and safety rules. I really do. I'm really strict on it. I really am. But it's one of those things. I think if you're a person like me who just suffers with sinus issues and has done their whole life, it only takes the tiniest thing to set it off as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tiniest little thing. Even today, I've had on like a full-blown one of those white disposable suits, proper air hood with a breathing apparatus on, so I've been scraping down like old plaster walls and stuff. So I'm doing everything I can, but something's still getting to me. And also, clocks change, and it's just getting tired, mate. Just probably worked. No, I don't work too much, but it's just work, isn't it? It's just physical work. Like if you're run down in my job, if you're ill, you're still going to work. You're still doing a physical day.
Yeah.
But what's worse about my job is I wake up in the morning, I feel like crap. I get to work within an hour. I feel all right. And you can sort of work through it, can't you? And you pick up a pace. And then you come home and you sort of just it's almost like you collapse again, you you have a little dip. Just is what it is. So but no, I don't think it helps as well that my missus works at a school and I have a kid and they're germ pits.
Mm-hmm.
They just spread disease and sickness everywhere they go.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna have children, it's just something you have to deal with.
Yeah,
Don't think we haven't noticed you, Kim, with your sparklers and your silly hat on.
I want to know why earlier on, I swear to God, before I came on, she was a super potato that had giant tits.
Now, what's going on
with that?
I was going to say something about that.
Superman's like that. That's just the way superheroes are. They're like Superman.
I'm sorry, Tim, but they're past pecs. They're moobs, mate.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying.
that is a full-blown Victoria's Secret push-up bra going on under that.
Yep.
I think He-Man's like that, isn't he?
Not terribly.
No, not quite that bad. Oh, it's a fairy potato.
Fairy potato. Okay.
Oh. With little pigtails.
I know, but I feel like the pigtails are not placed very well.
Well, you have butterfly-like wings right behind them.
Sort of an acid trip of an image, that one, isn't it? Because it's like a potato with hair and butterfly wings. Like it's one thing to have a blinking, talking potato, but we're going next level with the craziness here because now it's got hair. It's got wings. It's got love hearts above its head. I don't know who came up with this concept.
Oh, that's fantastic, that one. Oh, you should have had that one at Halloween. That's really good, that one. That's quality. Andrew saying at his last vehicle smog check, the guy wore a full helmet and waste pack filter. Years of car exhaust messed up his lungs.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that.
Take care, Nick. That shit can add up over years.
Certainly can, and that's why I take all the precautions I can. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter what job you're in, does it? You take all the precautions you want, and I do. And the company I work for, you cannot cut corners. Like, you have to follow the rules. If a manager comes on and you are not wearing that PPE and stuff, you're in deep. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, and it's the way it should be. You should be taking precautions, but I don't know.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, I get it.
The thing is, before I worked for that company, I spent years probably naively on site, breathing in shite I shouldn't have done. But then you could work in an office and end up virus oil up your arms and bad back and bad. Our bodies are not designed to do as much work as we do. Whatever you do, if you do it for 40 hours a week, it's going to have an effect on your body somehow. I don't think work has got anything to do with this. This is just me being ill. I'm just a sickly person. Wintertime is sucky. Wintertime is just crap for me. But that's one of the reasons I take precautions all year round at work, because A, it's sensible, B, I have to, and C, like at the moment, there's no way I'd want to do what I was doing today with all this going on. It'd be awful. We'd be an idiot too as well. But then you see videos on YouTube and stuff of people doing DIY stuff, and you look and you think, where is your breathing apparatus? Right, it's all right. 30 years from now, it might not be.
Yeah.
But that's the future. Why should we care? Because the future soon gets to you. Or not, if you don't play it safe.
Yeah.
I actually had an alarming moment today when I sat having a coffee. So we got a welfare room on site. Everything's set up. Sat down having a break, having a coffee. And I was like, yeah, we were talking about Mission Impossible films. I was like, yeah, God, I remember when they came out. Like, the first one came out about 20 years ago. And I stopped and I thought, no, it didn't. It's more like 30 years ago. I forgot.
Almost.
I'm like nearly 40 now.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've got to upgrade it. The thing is, the body's aging, but the mind is still stuck in 25 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad it grew past 17, 18, 19, 20, because I was just a dick when I was younger. I'm still a dick now, but I mean, I was just a dick who just didn't take care of himself. Typical lout. But yeah, starting to feel old. Tell me about it, Nick. Winter I get ill. That's why I travel to hot places to stay well. Yeah, no, Jason, I wish I could, mate. Tell you what, when I went to America like 11 years ago, this is a disgusting story, but it's just an eye-opener. I've been real sinusy for weeks, months, like I always am. And I was in Santa Monica. And I was this is disgusting. I do apologise, but we'd had real nice weather for a couple of weeks, like low humidity. And I coughed in the sea, and I just felt like, you know, I just felt everything just go. It's like boom, my hearing came back. I could breathe. It was incredible.
Oh.
It's just England, man. It's just dank and damp and horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of the time, yeah.
So, right on, Nick. I'm lucky to be alive, having survived my 20s. Yeah, see, we would have passed in my 20s. That's the thing, man. Don't know about our past, all the crazy stuff we did when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
When my boy's a bit older, I'm going to have a chat with him about all the crazy stuff I did, like things I referenced when I come on. Not as a brag or a boast, but just to tell him that, like, you're going to do your own thing, but I could maybe, if you listen to me a little bit, maybe I could save you making some of the little mistakes. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he'll probably be pig ignorant like I was at that age and still do his own thing anyway. But you can but try, can't you?
Yeah, you got to try.
Gotta try. Gotta try. Actually, my boy's really sweet. He's a real. I love it. He's a real little rule follower. I was a little rebellious little knobhead, but my boy's he's got a real sense of moral justice about him. Hopefully he keeps that. But we've got high school to contend with yet.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a up and down ride. That.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just reading through some comments. I'm not being ignorant.
Is he 10 now?
He's 10. He's 10 next year. 10 in, yeah. So it's scary, man. I still remember the day he was born, clear as day. Like mental, you know.
Yeah. TJC, hello, dude. TJC says finances may not be great for him right now, but he has a roof over his head and can feed and clothe his boy, so that's all that matters. Well, yep. Priorities, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's it, man. I said, excuse me. I said the other day, this conversation with someone. We're very fortunate, aren't we? In as much as even when we're skint or we're a bit broke, we're not poor because we've all got, you know, all of us here have got a roof over our head. We all can put food in our bellies. We can all stay relatively warm, you know, even when times are hard. So, what's that they say?
Right.
Count your blessings and all that. But no, times can be hard for people, man. And I think people are gonna. I don't want to go into too deep, like discussion on money and that. But we're hitting the winter months now, and hopefully the energy bills and that are gonna stabilize a little bit in the UK because that was a bit dicey last year. Got a little bit spicy.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do something with it.
Yeah.
I was lucky to get. So yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Kim should do a dance for us and entertain us. We've all gone quiet, so maybe it's time for Kim to take. I think Kim should take the centre stage for a moment. Give us all some, give our jaws all some respite from talking.
She's windmilling. She's windmilling the hair. That's pretty cool. It's good stuff.
This is meant to be Genius video.
Genius? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like a Albert Einstein type.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yes, Nick, and we get help from government, but I see Thailand there's no help. I think that's not good.
Well, the thing about places like Thailand, it's easy. If you've got the right amount of cash, you can do well, but it's tough when you're in a reverse situation where you got to get out of there. It's easy to go there, but it's tougher to leave it, if that makes sense.
I need to quickly go and see a man about a dog and get a refill of my sherry. So I'll be back in a couple of seconds.
Okay.
I think he's going for a pee and a drink.
Yeah, he's having to go.
That's a way to say it.
He's going for a wee. That's some awful slang for going for a wee. Any good ones in the States, chaps? Any good sayings for when you're going for a wee?
Spend a penny.
Well, I've used the phrase biological pit stop, or if I'm among folks like my dad, I just picked it up recently. Going to the head, which is a Navy thing to refer to the restroom. No other branch uses that term. I've heard latrine, In the Philippines, they use the term comfort room, and I'm not a fan of that. And so I've taken on the Canadian term, which is I've heard washroom thrown around. At least East Coast, East Side Canadians. Don't know about West Side. Drain the vein, Dad. That's one.
Drain the main vein, siphon the python.
Yeah.
My favourite crude one is go for a piss. That's what I always say.
Having a slash.
Having a slash.
I've got my friend.
Penny.
I've got my mate Harvey. My mate Harvey.
Or the polite way, just say spend a penny.
I swear, if I'm ever on like a video call with Kim, and I've noticed this, I've seen her do this, right? Because I always literally do sound going for a piss. If I say that, I swear she rolls her eyes as if to say, you're just so vile. I've seen you do it.
Yeah, but it's also like, do I need to know that you're going to the bathroom? Just say I need to go away for 2 seconds, or please excuse me, I'm going to the bathroom.
I don't have a filter for stuff like that. It's just the honesty of me.
Well, then I'm allowed to roll
As much as
my
it's
eyes.
got me in trouble in my life, people just, you always know where you are with me, because I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
I think it's a man thing as well, isn't it, to announce that you're going for a piss? It's sort of like a...
I sent you an interesting voice note last night, didn't I, Dave?
Yeah. I mean, most people will say, okay. No, once they know you're going to the bathroom or go to the restroom, whether man or woman, it's like, okay, that's cool. But you're just putting expectations like, okay, you better be back if that's what you're saying.
Yeah, see, to us English guys, that's a very American going to the bathroom. If I'm going to the bathroom, I'm going for a bath or a shower.
Yeah.
But you say going to the bathroom to use the toilet. It's just one of those little things.
Yeah.
Oh, we say that up here.
Some people in England...
It used to
Really?
be taking... You know, it's either you took a leak or you're taking a dump. You know, that's the other thing. Like, usually taking a leak is it's like self-explanatory, but nobody nowadays wants to say they're taking a dump. It's like, dude.
That means going number 2, but some people don't understand. Well, how is it taking a dump? Well, it's like a trash truck dumping something. It's dumping your human waste.
Right.
Well, my friend a few years ago.
Sorry.
Go on, Nick.
No, you carry on about your friend's story. Mine can wait.
A few years ago, and I'd never heard this turn of phrase, and it really caught me out. My friend has got 2 young daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And I called him up a few years ago and said, do you want to come over and hang out, or whatever it was? I can't remember what the scenario was. And he said, yeah, no problem. I've just got to drop the kids off at the pool, and then I'll give you a call back. And I genuinely thought he was taking his daughters swimming. And then so when he called me back about 5 minutes later, I said, I thought you were dropping the kids off at the pool. He said, yeah, I've just done that. And I said, well, how close are you to the leisure centre? And he was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, I've just had a shit. And I was like, oh. I had no idea. I'd never heard it before. And it really, I genuinely thought he was taking his girls out for the day.
That is new.
My little boy was in hysterics a while back because I said, I'm just going to go lay a cable. He's like, what?
All right.
I'm laying a cable, mate.
Brilliant.
All right.
We've really,
as the saying goes, you do you, homie.
We've gotten to an all-time low that we're resorting to toilet talk now.
All-time low? Wow. I don't know about that. I'll let Monkey Boy and Tim be the collective judge on that.
Yeah. Well, I remember an episode of South Park where there's like where everybody gets diarrhea, the whole town gets diarrhea, and one of the mothers is telling another mother, oh, I've got to go deposit a few little friends in the pool.
Oh, God.
Gads.
Oh my god.
Right, can we change the topic? I don't want
Yeah, okay, sure.
before I go to bed.
Okay.
I know. Just on it, I know I referenced it earlier, but if you haven't watched the new South Park Into the Pandaverse, please watch it.
Yeah, I gotta watch more of the specials. Like, I don't know if I'll ever watch another episode of a season, because I think there's a point in the South Park run that I just said I'm checking out, just because what else more can be said about South Park? But the specials are probably the ones that I will check out. Like, I think the Streaming Wars one is better so far, and then I have yet to watch the one on the Rona. They had a two-parter on the Rona.
That one was just so wrong and so funny. It's just like Into the Pandaverse. It's just Cartman dressed as Kathleen Kennedy screaming, "Put a chicken in it, make her gay." It's just like,
yeah.
Put a chicken in, make her gay. It's just like it. It's like, and apparently Kathleen Kennedy and Disney are really pissed off about this. No, sucks to have people call you out, doesn't it? But in a comical way.
I think the other thing too is like they make deeper points when you got one side with Cartman battling Kathleen Kennedy, and then you've got Stan's dad or Randy and everybody else trying to get their work done, but they're trying to find a handyman instead of figuring it out for themselves. And then they even go to the point of saying, "Oh, their degrees weren't worth jack," something like that, right? So I had a chuckle at that because on one end, I don't put my degree on a pedestal, but at the same time, I don't think it was wasted. So I'm like in between, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I see your point. There's a time and place to get a college degree, and there are people that can get college degrees or pursue them right after high school. But for some, or if not many, they might need to spend some time in a different setting and then pursue that college degree, like my dad did. But the idea that you got people with these degrees, which in my mind now it's just a sign that you know how to learn. So these guys with degrees, they just can't find the right resources to learn how to fix their stove, how to tighten whatever Randy had to tighten. You know, when he's trying to fix that, the oven door, and he gets nagged by his wife, "Are you gonna fix that?" And then he keeps saying, "I'm working on it. I'm trying to find a handyman to fix it for me." And so just watching that angle, it was.
I'm gonna say this now for anyone. So we've deviated a little bit from South Park into degrees and stuff. I appreciate it's part of the story. If you don't do DIY, if you don't do the basic things right, just try little things. Because I mean, I fix stuff all the time for a living. And there was a point when I'd never picked a power draw up, and there was a point when I'd never done the simple. Just do little things.
Yeah.
Like there are so many things you don't have to pay people to do. Like I had a friend phone me say, "Oh, can you come and fit?" They'd had their front room plastered. I didn't do it because I was just too busy, and I worked for a company, so I couldn't really do it. And they had the window battens you put up above the windows you fix them to the wall to put the curtain rails on, right?
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to pay me to go and fit some for them. Didn't charge them. I just went and did it. But I made him do it with me. I was like, dude, this is as easy as using a level, marking a line, cutting a piece of wood, drilling a couple of holes, couple of rule plugs, bang.
Yeah.
Like, this is very, very... all right, you don't know how to do it, but this is very basic stuff. And if you can get your head around this, maybe next time you have a tiny little DIY job, you might have a little bit of confidence to just try it. There's always going to be things you're not going to be able to do. Don't attempt electrical work if you don't know anything about electrics. Don't attempt plumbing if you don't know anything about plumbing.
That's a different story.
And that's just really simple.
Yeah.
You know, don't try and plaster your own front room if you've never plastered before, because you'll be paying me to come and put it right, because you will. But there are things that you can do, you know, just have a go. Just have a go. What's the worst case scenario? I mean, I've actually had to physically go around and help friends put together like flat pack furniture before because they're not even confident to do that.
Wow.
Right.
Love flat pack.
Yeah, I like a good flat pack.
I love flat pack furniture.
I love a flat pack, but what I end up doing is I go a bit luxury with mine because I'll look at all the rubbish screws that are going to melt like butter when you put the screwdriver on them round out, and I get all nice screws. I like upgrade the fit, upgrade bits as I go. But then I'm in that trade where I know can sort of grab bits and pieces.
I got taught how to rewire a plug at school.
How to rewire a what?
Plug.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I think I did that at school. Yeah.
Plugs
I rewired a plug the other week. Had to redo one because the contact went or something went in the plug, so I stripped it down again, stripped the wires, cut, sorted it out. No problem.
We got taught in physics of all places.
But that, to me, that's what I would consider when I say don't do electrical. I'm saying don't mess about with RCDs and your fuse board and stuff like that. So you get a Sparky in, but changing a plug, 100%. You could literally watch a YouTube video and it will tell you how to change a plug.
Some people can't do it, can they?
Well, that and like replacing a fuse and things like that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it, there's always going to be some people, there will be people who are just incapable. I'm not taking the mick out of them, like something, but I think a lot of it is confidence. A lot of people are just not confident to try something. It's like if something's broken, right? If it's broken and it's something that isn't going to kill you if you try and fix it, have a go at fixing it. What's the worst case scenario? You break it a bit more, it was already broke, or maybe you'll end up fixing it.
Right.
Yeah. But again, the amount of friends I've got, like I've gone around and helped. Generally, if a friend phones me and they need something doing, got a lot of friends in office work and things and other careers. Like the amount of them that I've popped around, or I said, I'll pop round. What tools have you got there? Tools? You got a hammer? You got a drill?
Yeah.
No. Multi screwdriver set? No. You don't have to go out and buy expensive stuff, but just you can literally go to like DIY stores and buy like a case with just the basic tools in. They're not amazing. They wouldn't stand up to like everyday site abuse, but it's just the basic stuff.
Yeah.
Just to get you by,
Yeah, just to get you out of a pinch if you need it. Yeah.
Yeah, like set of pliers, tape measure, multi screwdriver set, hammer, simple things. Or you could be like my missus, who I've basically built her a toolkit of little bits, but she'll still go to the drawer and grab a spoon to try and undo something. It's like there's a screwdriver set in there. Use that.
Andrew says Nick, he's going to have to agree to disagree. He said he spent hours fixing a tile, scraping it down, re-grout. He said it looked like shit and took him forever. He'd have been better off paying someone to do it and working his actual job.
Yeah, but you can agree to disagree on that. But I would tell you that if you'd lost one or two tiles, you're more than capable of replacing them. If you don't know how to actually tile for a living as well, there are things that might be a bit beyond you. If you're putting a splashback around your sink, you should be able to tackle that one row of tiles. Laying out an actual bathroom, if you haven't got the wall flat and that, and you haven't marked it out, centered your lines and everything worked out, your cuts top and bottom, then yeah, maybe you should get a professional in. I'm not saying you should go and like do massive things if you can't do them, but I'm saying there are little things you can do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would never say to any of you, if you've never tiled before, go tile your bathroom. Maybe get a bit of advice and help on that, or get a tiler. But if you got one or two tiles come away, it's not that hard. And what's the worst case scenario? You put them in, they look shit. Well, take them out again. You're back to where you were. The tiles are missing.
I think I generally think I'd probably fall in the camp of what Andrew's saying and pay someone to do it, because I just can't. I mean, there are certain things I will do myself, but other things I would much rather take it to someone and have them do it properly.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know your limitations. I mean, I would never tell someone if you've never tiled before to tile a whole bathroom.
Yeah, I mean anything.
If you
anything
don't know how to
involving
do that, then
I just take a look at what is around me, and if I can deduce as much as possible what the root cause may be, and the resolution to that root cause is a tightening of a screw. That's one of the easiest things. Like if you can inspect something and you feel like, hey, it just needs a screw to be tightened. Sure. And I've worked.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, little things.
Yeah, and just working with computers for as long as I have, you know, just knowing the right screw and the right screwdriver head, that could take you a long way, and that translates to door hinges within reason. You know, your toilet paper rack, where if you got one of those that hangs to the side of a cabinet, which I have, you know, if you it just needs a tightening of that, you know, just little things like you said, Nick, is just.
I'll tell you a really common one that I repair all the time at work, and I repair these all the time.
Okay.
Broken door handles on internal doors.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I've changed door handles for friends, and honestly, they. Do you know, I was never shown how to do it. And I guess I'm lucky because I'm in an industry where if you generally hands-on, you're hands-on and whatever.
Right.
But there's a few things I have learned, things that I do in my everyday job now. Because you think YouTube's been around for years. There's a few things that the first time I got sent to latex a floor before, which is really easy. You knock up latex, you pour it down, it's self-leveling, you know. But I didn't know that. And you know, I learned that. I learned that on YouTube, what to do day before, because I remember the guy who ran the site said to me, "Can you latex a floor?" So he goes, "It's pretty straightforward, mate. If you can, I can pay you for a day's work tomorrow." This is when I was learning. I literally watched the video on YouTube. I was like, "That's really easy." Did it. It was fine. And the thing was, you know, it's like anything, isn't it? I mean, I tell you a job that is incredibly easier than you would ever think it is.
Right.
And I get why people don't want to laminate flooring.
Yeah.
The first time I had to do laminate flooring, I was like, I remember sort of sweating a bit, thinking, how am I going to do this?
Mm-hmm.
And once you sort of lay it all out, and I appreciate it's handy to have a chop saw, having the tools is something.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get into it, it's quite like, it's not as hard as you fit. I think you have to have you have to, I'm not saying people don't, but do you know what I mean? Where you have to have a bit of a practical brain for some things. You have to be able to sort of, because sometimes there's a bit of puzzle solving, like Andrew Anderson about tiling. Sometimes there's a bit of a puzzle there because you're like, work out your cuts. You want to mirror them and equal as you come round. And sometimes you stand there, even I've tiled loads. I've tiled more bathrooms and kitchens than I can count. Yeah. And sometimes I'll stand and I'll be like, it will just puzzle me for a minute. It's like, even when you do it, like today, I was plastering a wall, and and I had a chap in the room with me who I'd been teaching the plastering. He's getting really good, and I started to have problems on my wall, and he was like, "Oh no, what?" When that happened to me when you weren't here, I had to scrape it all off and start again. And I was like, right, okay. I got over it. But then, you know, experience counts as well, doesn't it? Like, if you do something enough times, you've encountered every problem. Well, not every problem, but you've encountered enough problems to find a way through it. But what is going on?
Oh my God, Tim, what have you done? That's like Kimbo Slice.
Washing machine.
It's almost quasi Mr. T, but I'm trying to think of where I might have seen
with a bit of a Bowie stripe.
Yeah.
Did my washing machine follow a YouTube video?
Thanks for stopping by, Soda. Reader's Digest how-to book. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to change a seal on a washing machine a few years ago because my missus caught the clothes in the door as she turned the washing machine on, and it tore the it tore the rubber seal, so the washing machine was pissing out water at the front.
Mm.
And I ordered, and the washing machine was like, it wasn't covered, and wasn't what I was like, I don't want to buy a new washing machine. And I thought, oh no. And I ordered the part, and I thought, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to do this. And I remember when I like, there's these two horrible like bits of metal like clamp around the sill, and I just thought, I'm never going to get this on. I remember when I got it on there and I actually fixed the machine. I almost felt like I'd earned like life achievement points after that. So I've done it, especially when it didn't leak. So I spent 25 quid on a part and did it.
Yeah, it's a sense of achievement in it when you do something like that. I remember I blocked when I was younger, and I was still living with my parents. They'd gone away on holiday, and I chucked a load of leftover rice down the waste disposal unit. Didn't think anything of it, and of course it clogged the pipe up immediately. So I managed, and I must have been about, I don't know, 15, 16 or something, and I managed to undo or find the stopcock, turn all the water off, make sure everything was fine, disassemble the waste disposal unit, take all the pipe out, clean all the rice out of the pipe, put it all back together again. I don't think I even ever told them that it had happened. So I think sometimes you can get lucky with things like that, but sometimes you've just got to have a go, because I was in a position where I couldn't leave it. I had to do something. So I figured it out. But I think what you said earlier, Nick, about having confidence, I think that is a lot. I think that plays a massive part in it. Like, if anything goes wrong with my car, if I hear a funny noise, I take it straight to the mechanic, because I do not have any confidence at all with any kind of mechanical work. I'm all right with,
however,
plumbing, and I fixed a couple of toilets before, and I'm all right with the odd little bit of woodwork here and there, practical stuff like that. But if it comes to an engine, I've got no idea. So I take it to the mechanic.
Yeah, no, but then like cars, I put that into the electrical. So like the other day, like cars, because I fixed things on cars before, little things, but because a car is essentially a ton and a half, my car nearly 2 ton of mass moving, that is basically a killing machine. I'm very much like, a mechanic needs to look at that. And that's what I was saying about know your limitations. I do encourage everyone to have a go at doing stuff, but like maybe tiling a whole bathroom or plastering a whole room or that. It's about being realistic with your expectations of what you can do. Like have a go, but it's also about breaking it down. Like, I would say don't ever try and plaster a whole front room, but if you had a little patch that blew, have a go, because to be honest with you, if you really cock it up, you can always sand it back and put a bit of light fill over it. Do you know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. But no, I agree. Like the other day I had an electrical fault at home, and I just don't mess with electrical stuff. Like I said, change a plug, change a plug, change a pendant or something, change a light switch, but I wouldn't. So I called my mate Pete up, and I got him out and he fixed it, and it was probably something I could have reset in the board, but no, because that's like no, that's like dye stuff. You touch that stuff wrong and you die.
Yeah.
Dye stuff's not fun. But no, I agree. Cars, like, it's like I would never. I suspect, I don't know, our American friends may not have done because they like to drive automatics. But Dave, have you ever had a car where the clutch is going and you just know it's going? You can, or if it ever happens to you, once it happens, I don't want it to happen to you, but if it happens to you once, you will always know what it feels like for a clutch to be going on a car. Like,
it won't happen to me. It won't happen to me because I learned in an automatic.
Oh.
You're lucky, sir.
Well, sort of. I mean, it was one of those things. My first car was a regular stick shift, but I could not get on with it at all. I was hopeless at it. So I said, sod this. I'm just going to get an automatic license. So I just learned in an automatic.
Oh, you guys separate the two, or separated the two at some point?
Yeah. I'm not allowed to drive.
Yeah, we mainly drive manuals.
I have to. I'm only legally allowed to drive an automatic.
Wow.
So to give a bit more context to Leicester, if you learn in a manual car, you can drive manual or automatic.
Right. Makes sense.
If you learn in a manual, if you learn in an automatic, you can only drive an automatic.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I have known several people, and I've been trying to tell my mate's girlfriend wants to learn to drive, but she's like, I don't get on with gears. I was like, learn automatic.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I want to learn manual. It's like, well, yeah, but if you're really not getting on with it in this day and age, like automatic cars, it's not like the 80s where they were rare as rocking horse shit in the UK.
Yeah,
like,
and
everything.
The gear shifting, or the changing of the gear, or whatever you want to call it, in automatic. It's almost video game like nowadays. I've seen some levers being like just pushes of the button. Like, really? I remember, just wanting to play around in a manual just because of the thank you racing games. But
I can switch my car to a manual transmission in that I've got a paddle shifter on my steering wheel, and I've got I do have a gear shifter that I can use to go up and down through the gears, but it's not something the car does it much better than I would, so I just let the car do it.
Yeah.
I let the car do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? If it wasn't for the fact that my missus is so unconfident, this will sound crazy to people who drive automatics. My missus does not. She's like, I don't think I could drive an automatic. I'm like, it's the easiest thing in the world. If my missus would drive an automatic, I would have an automatic family car because I love them. But she won't, so it's just like manual. It is.
It's really easy, though, isn't it? It's just like driving a go-kart. There's just go and stop. That's all you have to worry about.
Right.
Do you think have we lost Kim for good, do you think?
Yeah, she went to bed, and
just messaged
Soda.
She's
Soda called her in, and Travels and More Jason and went to bed as well.
Night, Kim. Night, Jason. Yeah, I mean, I've got one of my headlights has just gone out in my car. I'm sure I could go down to Halfords, buy a replacement bulb, bring it home. I've got all the tools that I would need to deal with it, but am I going to do it? Am I bollocks? I'm going to take it to the mechanics and say, please fix my light.
I'm going to side with you on that, and I'll tell you for why. Because I used to have a Golf GTI, right? And I changed the headlight on it once, and there was two options. You either had to have you had to have hands like sparrows' feet to get in there, or you had to take the front bumper off. And eventually, after scraping the crap out of my hand and jiggling stuff, I got it done. And in that instance, yes, I would agree. I said I would never change a headlight again, just not because I can't do it, but just because that is ball ache. The rear lights are easy on cars. Rear lights are really easy. But headlights, dependent on the car, it can be like you can't get in there.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it to them because they do it day in, day out. It'll take them 20 minutes, whereas it would take me probably 2 hours.
Right.
So I'm happy to take it to them. I mean, I need to take it in for a service anyway. So when I take it in, I'm just going to say, yeah, I'd like to book my car in for a service. This is the type of car I've got. There's a headlight out. Can you fix that while you're doing it? And I'll quite happily pay them to do it because, like you said, Nick, it's a ball ache. Well, I don't know if it's a ball ache or not. I haven't tried it. I don't intend to try it.
Yeah, there's some things. But as much as I will encourage, and it sounds like I'm going back on it, I will encourage people to have a go. There are just some things where if Halfords want to do it for £10.99 or even £20, just do it. because that is just that.
I suppose I could take it to Halfords and ask them to do it, but I figured I would just get my mechanic to do it when they're doing the service.
Probably better if it's your mechanic doing the service. Yeah, I got my MOT next month, and I think they're going to pull me on something on one of my lights, and because it's there, I'll just say just do it. Well, listen, just do it. It's not.
Yeah.
Pick it on up. But no, my car. My fingers crossed. Next month, if my car goes through this MOT as smoothly as it has the last 6 years I've owned it, next month I'll be well happy. Because it's.
Do you guys have that in the States? Do you have like a regular, like a yearly inspection that your car has to pass?
Yeah, it's like a DHQ, or what they call a DEQ, I think it is, where they do smog checks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do they check all the things like the seat belts, the windscreen wipers?
Not to that depth, if my understanding is right. But it's usually if there's a citation by a street cop, like if they notice it's like a fix-it ticket. Like, hey, get this fixed.
We get ours tested every year. We have to do it every 12 months, and they check your windshield wipers, your seat belts, your lights, your brakes, all kinds of different things, to make sure they work. Make sure your horn works. All kinds of stuff to make sure it works. But I've seen cars on the road that are absolutely falling to pieces that have passed their MOT. They've got rust all over them. The doors are hanging. You don't have to have any doors on your car to pass an MOT.
All right.
If you have the smallest fray on your seatbelt, they bloody fail you, as I found out the other year. And I literally got a lighter. I went, I just the fray away.
Yeah.
And the thing I have to do to my car every year, my brother-in-law does it for me, only because he's got the bits, is my front headlights, they get really misty, like they almost like gone cloudy. So every year I take them to Kev. Kev gets his polisher out and he polishes the lights up so they look amazingly shiny. And I always have it done like the week before the MOT, but it only lasts about 6 months before they cloud up again. But that's the thing. You have to have a certain clarity on them to pass the MOT.
Yeah, I get condensation in the one of my front lights, and I think that probably would fail the MOT. So I have to make sure that it's nice and dry when I take it in there, so they don't notice that the condensation builds up in there. I don't know why it does it.
Hair dryer before you go. Hair dryer on the plastic.
What, on the front?
Not a heat gun, that'll melt it. Just hair dryer. Heat it, dry it out. Snow.
Yeah, I suppose. I could do that. I'll borrow a hairdryer from someone. I don't own a hairdryer actually. I used to, but I gave it away.
Depends what time of year your MOT is as well. My MOT is always in bloody December, so it's like the worst time of the year.
Oh, right. No, mine's all right. Mine's in the summertime.
But no,
do you want to see what Blu-rays I bought this week?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bit of a change of gears. Here we go. They're all excellent films. So we'll start with the director's cut of Commando.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
nice.
It's a bit weird, really, because I think there's only about 2 minutes extra. I don't quite know why they've done that. There's a couple of scenes where the line reading is slightly different, where there's either a slightly different, the dialogue is a little bit different, or the scene is slightly different in terms of the pacing of how it's been cut. But quite honestly, it seems that they've done very little to the film, and they've slapped director's cut on it, which I think is a little bit cheeky, really. But
Yeah.
Commando is a film that I absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this so many times, and I will definitely watch this a number of more times before I die. Well, unless I die tomorrow. But yeah, this is one that I can watch time and time again. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure. So that was my first one, was Commando. Next one I picked up was the Blu-ray of Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Right.
I already own these on DVD, obviously, but I didn't have them on Blu-ray, so I thought I'd pick them up, mainly for the special features, because the special features on Ghostbusters 2 are that there are more special features than I have on my DVD. So I thought I'd pick that up. Ghostbusters 1 and 2, obviously classic. And then The Lost Boys. Absolutely fantastic. Love this film. It's one of the best vampire films of the 80s, and I think possibly one of the best vampire films of all time. Absolutely love this. Fantastic. So there were the three Blu-rays that I picked up this week. But that's all I've got to show this week. Sorry for the abrupt change in gear, but I thought I'd just get them in quickly.
Yeah, that's all good.
All good, man.
Yeah, man. If anyone hasn't seen The Lost Boys, in fact, if anyone hasn't seen any of these films, then there's something wrong with you. But certainly
right.
The Lost Boys is really worth looking at. It's really good, a good entertaining film. I would say The Lost Boys
is essential.
Fantastic. It's probably one of my top 10 films, in fact, I would say.
Do you think The Lost Boys would make a good podcast?
Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah, it is a good one. But then, I love Commando. I remember I saw Commando when I was about 10, 11, something like that, and I was a massive Schwarzenegger fan from that moment. Really, it just, that's the film that started my love of Schwarzenegger films. I think it was probably the first one I saw, or perhaps it was the Terminator. I can't quite remember, but certainly Commando was the one that really switched me on to Schwarzenegger films. So I'm looking forward to watching that again. I mean, it's so daft, and there's so many continuity errors in it. If you've seen it the amount of times that I have, you can say, oh well, this is a mistake, there's a mistake, look at this, I mean, there's so many errors in it, but it's a guilty pleasure, really. Yeah, I do love that.
I love an Arnie film.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they? But I do think it's a bit cheeky to call it a director's cut.
Sorry, guys, I keep sneezing, so I have to keep muting.
Well, guys, it's like 2 hours and 48 minutes, and I think I want to end because I'm just feeling tired. It's been raining.
Okay, man. No problem. No problem.
Worries.
Thanks to everyone for joining us. Thanks to Kim. Thanks to Lester, and thanks to Nick for joining us again. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Once again, I won't list everyone in the chat in case I miss somebody, but thank you all for stopping by and joining us. Thank you to the lovely Tim Hayes for hosting again. And this has been the episode that is well cheesed.
Yeah.
He's well cheesed.
I think you'll have to put it in the title, Tim. Well cheesed. Episode 19, well cheesed.
All right.
Thank you all.
Take it easy, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers, Santara. Thank you. Bye.
See you next time.
Bye.
End stream. If this will let me end.
I'm going to hold these
There we
bees.
go.